Osun State Anthem. Thank you. It's on page 2. Page 2. Page 2. Thank you. Thank you. We will opening prayer, and the opening prayer is the second stanza of the national anthem, also on page 2. So let's take the opening prayer together. 1 to go. Thank you so much. You are welcome to this great event. Can we be seated, please? Thank you so much. Now, I don't want this side of the table to be empty. I don't like calling it high table because there is no low table. You understand? But as engineers, procedural people, we always have our programs well arranged so they can be in place. But before I do that, I want all of us to see the presentation of our youths before I bring people to this side of the table. I will hand over now to my colleague, co-anchor.
The chairman, though the MC has not actually pronounced and formally introduced the chairman to this gathering, but I want to assume that the chairman is actively present in our midst, and all other dignitaries that have made it a matter of necessity to be part of this program. The program of the day is a twin program, Investiture as well as tertiary essay competition. Among the students of tertiary institutions, we have in Osun State and the surrounding state. So I am to invite the participant in the essay competition to come forward and take their position so that we'll get ourselves ready for that program. Let me say that The essay competition aspect of it started some days back, specifically on the 22nd of March, 2022, at the Nigerian Society of Engineers Osogbo State headquarters. To that event, 7 candidates indicated their interest to be part of it. But out of the 7, 5 were physically present. We took one on Zoom platform, and the 7th person, we were not able to reach him at all. For the 6 that participated, the best 3 were actually invited to be part of today's program, so that what they have done that day, they can come forward in the presence of everybody here and repeat it in a better form. So permit me to introduce the 3 best candidates here and invite them to come forward to take their positions in readiness for their presentation. We have candidate registration number NIEEE Osogbo 011, Peter Emmanuel. Please, can I put our hands together for him? Please come forward, wherever you are. So, maybe you can take your seat there. The second candidate is Ms. Bernard Anita Onyechi. Bernard, can we please put our hands together for that? That day I described her as stature of her time. I hope when you see her presenting, you will assess my assessment, whether it is true or not. The third candidate is Mr. Odeyemi Temiloluwa Stephen. So these are the 3 we have selected out of the entire 6 that participated that day. For the assessors, we have Dr. F.K. Ario from Osogbo State University. Then Dr. M.O. Lawal, are you here, please? Still being expected. Then, Mr. Chairman, you said you are giving us additional personnel as assessors. Do we have them here now? We have the next person, Dr. Tijani M.A. from Federal Polytechnic. Please stand up for recognition. We also have Engineer Oladili M.O. You are welcome. And of course, myself, Ojo A.O. from Federal Polytechnic. So the next thing, Mr. MC, is for the full presentation. Do I go ahead? No, you have to come and take it. So that because I'll take my seat as an assessor. So please, these are the candidates. You can choose to call them in the order you want. What is most important is for them to make their presentations.
Thank you so much. Please, let's put our hands together for this wonderful the future of Nigeria. Though we have been corrected not to call anybody future, because it seems that's why a lot of us did not do anything till we got to 50 years. You know, that word is so funny. So you are the future of the country, so you carry that wrong mentality. By the time you are 85, you are still the future of the country. You now ask yourself, when will you be the president of Nigeria? So we believe that as we are exiting the stage, you are taking over. And that is why we must give you the chance to perform. The platform to perform is what we have provided for you so that you can become professionals. Let's celebrate them once again. Thank you. Now, in which order should I call you just as you are seated? My traditional man, I really love your attire. Stand up for recognition. Yes, I'll be starting with you. You are Odeyemi Temiloluwa Stephen, isn't it? Thank you so much.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Panel of judges, accurate timekeeper. Odeyemi Temiloluwa Stephen. I'm here to make a oral presentation on challenges and the solution facing the power sectors of this country, of this great country called Nigeria. Now, I also thank the NIEEE of Osogbo chapters for giving me an opportunity to make my presentation. Now, Kabiru, Kabiru, see, so these days, I've never, my job, you are keeping postponing it. Oga, you get it today. Oga, you get it tomorrow. It's not my fault, Oga. It's due to this power problem. Today, rain will fall. Tomorrow, wind. Other day, another challenges will occur. Oga, please, maybe in the next few weeks, maybe we'll get, I didn't have order it from China. This country, every day, power problem. Oh God. All right. Due to the power outage in the institution now, we won't be having our lectures. The lecture will be postponed to next week. We came to the class to have a lecture again. I can't keep myself. Shall I use my money to get a generator for you guys? Or shall I use my money to buy foil for you guys? Also, lecturer also complaining, power problem. No present, we can't make a presentation. Oh God, this country, power again. Power also affecting the education sectors of this country. Is there improvement? Oh God. All right. Another board CEO came up again. In the next year, we're able to meet up our target. All right. After everything, the end of the year, unfortunately, due to the power failures in the country, we won't be able to move. We won't be able to meet up. The CEO again will complain. Maybe hadn't been new, I would not have even come to this country at all. I prefer going to Ghana. I prefer going to South Africa. I think that would be a better option for me. Yeah. I think that would be a better option for me. Oh God. Now, ever since last decade, our federal governments have been putting more effort to make putting more effort on these sectors. But unfortunately, all the efforts made has been declined. There's no improvement in this section. Before I proceed, I would like to define power. What is power? Power is work done. Power is energy consumed per time. Energy consumed is also the product of voltage. It's not the product of voltage and current. It has the SI unit of watt. I would like to define power sectors. Power sector is a combination of total number of energy being consumed by the consumer, which actually affects them in making decisions, maybe getting transformer for them, getting transformer or any other power appliances. These factors are actually affect employment, poverty rate, high standard of living, and so on, which actually does not favor the current youth. You see some of them doing yahoo, seeing some of them migrating to cyber crime and social. Now, the possible solution, number one, government should make the possible solution. The, the possible solution for them is just to make a policy. They make a standard policy in which all of them will follow. Another one is introducing the private sectors in this section. This will actually help this section in repairing, maintenance, and some other parts. In conclusion, good electricity has been closely linked to the growth of development of the economy of a nation. Which means the economy of a nation is directly proportional to the good electricity. Let's look, for example, USA with GDP. Thank you so much.
I mean, that's very good. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. It's not easy facing the crowd. It's not easy, but I'm so proud of you, especially coming from your time. I'm going next to the next person. That's my wonderful sister, Anita. You have 7 minutes. 7, thank you.
Up NEPA! Ah, God. The screams around the street were shouting, full of joy. Everyone is happy there's light. People rush, iron their clothes, have iron, you grind your pepper, everything, because there's light. 2 hours later, the light goes off. Then you start hearing curses on NEPA. They're abusing them, causing the Nigerian economy. It's no secret that the electrical power system in Nigeria is in deplorable condition. Before I go on, I would like to say good day, the chairman, the panel of judges, the accurate timekeeper, the audience present here today, the gentlemen and ladies of the press today, and everyone else here. I am honored to be here today, and my name is Bernard Anita, and I've been privileged to speak on the topic challenges and solutions to electrical power system in Nigeria. What is the electrical power system? Electrical power system is a network of electrical components designed to generate, transmit, and consume electrical power. There are 3 major challenges affecting the electrical power system in Nigeria. 1, inadequate infrastructure. 2, poor history of governance and corruption. 3, low generating capacity relative to the installed capacity. Alok Sharma once said, infrastructure is the backbone of economic growth. It provides access to basic services such as clean water and electricity. It provides jobs and it also boosts business. Inadequate infrastructure. There's insufficient funds directed into the power sector. There's inefficiency of the human and technological capabilities. There is insufficiency of provisions of developmental resources. And there's even poor maintenance of equipment. It's every day in this country you hear transformer has blown, fuse has blown, the pole has fallen. I wonder how we expect to have constant supply of electricity. Speaking of the poor history of governance and corruption, we live in a country where transparency and honesty is a foreign word. A country where there's uneven distribution of electricity. A country where the wealthy, the rich, have the majority of the electricity supplied, while the average have to make do with the residue. We live in a country where some corrupt officials collect extra money from this just to supply light to some areas, despite the padded bills distributed monthly. Oh, how saddening it is. Another obstacle to the electrical power system in Nigeria is the low relative capacity relative to the installed capacity. We live in a country where the amount of electricity generated in Nigeria is way less than the amount that's actually required to supply the entire country. And we wonder why we do not have electricity in Nigeria. Another disheartening fact. Pierre Filion once said, every solution has a problem. The problem is to find a solution to the problem. Speaking on the inadequate infrastructures, the government should provide adequate infrastructural facilities for the power sector. The budgeting should be properly channeled to these sectors, and not only should it be channeled, it should be utilized effectively. Provision should be made for trained personnel, and favorable conditions should be provided for the youth in order to discourage them from fleeing abroad in search of greener pastures. With this in mind, obviously, there will be a great improvement in the infrastructural conditions. Speaking on corruption, corruption is a cancer. a cancer that eats at the backbone of an economy, a cancer that inhibits the progress of every economy in the country. So what we should do concerning corruption in Nigeria is that we should always take a stand against poor history against the governance, against the bad governance, against corruption in every system of the country, especially in our electrical power systems. Officials that are corrupt should be properly sanctioned. Then, speaking of the speaking on generating capacity of the country, experienced personnel should innovate methods for the maximization of the electrical power system in Nigeria. Those experienced personnel should research into developed countries and know what works best. We adapt what works best. We look at the modes of generating capacity and adapt what works best for the maximization of our power system. After all, knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. I leave us with this saying: united we stand, divided we fall. We can bring so many challenge solutions to the electrical power system in Nigeria. But if we don't work for it, if we don't take a stand, if we don't have this particular aim in mind, if we don't have this goal in mind to improve our electrical power system in Nigeria, it is of no use. It is of no use because we use the analogy of a broom. A one stick can easily be broken, but a bundle cannot be broken. So we have to take a stand. We have to take a stand against, we have to take a stand for the betterment of our electrical power system. I would like to thank this Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer for the opportunity to be here today. I'm more than grateful and I am privileged to be here. I would like to say congratulations to the NIEEE chairman for this opportunity. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Ms. Anita. Next, I'll call on Mr. Peter Emmanuel. 7 minutes.
Good day, the chairman of this wonderful occasion, my esteemed panelists, and other dignitaries here present. With my audience too, I say good day to each and every one of us once again. My name is Peter Emmanuel Ame. I'm from the University of Obafemi Awolowo, from the Department of Electronics and Electrical Engineering. I'm here to give us an oral presentation on the topic Solutions and Challenges to the Problem of Electrical Power System in Nigeria. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, we would have made more progress in one decade than in all previous decades of our existence. Nikola Tesla. Before I kick off, I would like to give an explanation of what an electrical power system is. An electrical power system is a network of electrical components which are arranged to deploy, to transmit, and to distribute electricity in various ways. To the layman, I can just say that an electrical power system is more like your generator in your house, which is built to distribute electricity to you. Now, to solidify the essence of having this particular competition, I would like to take an instance to the Slovakia, a country of 49,000 square kilometers in size, which is barely compared to our dear Kaduna State, and with a population of 5.4 million people, which is not even up to the population of people in Oyo State. This particular country generates 25.4 million megawatts of electricity. Compared to Nigeria, our peak power generation has been 5,377 megawatts of electricity. Now, if we should do the math, we see that per head in Slovakia, we have 4.6 megawatts of electricity, and as compared to Nigeria, we have less than 60 watts of electricity. How do you expect an individual to survive with that? The commissioner of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Mr. Eyo Epo, in one of his interviews with the Nation's newspaper said, Nigerians spend an average of 12 trillion naira to power their systems themselves through the use of generators. This figure is very, very worrisome if we should look at it in terms of the carbon emitted into the atmosphere and the population and the pollution we have to bear with. Yes, we can keep on talking about the adverse effect of these things. But then I have 3 major challenges to pose to us this morning. The first is the problem of a structural problem. The second is the problem with our policy making strategy. And my third challenge is inability to diversify electricity generation. Now, the first thing is the structural problem. Imagine giving birth to a 5-year-old child and you just buy a shoe for him at that particular age, not changing the shoe till the child is 18 years old. Do you think such a child can still wear the same shoe even when he's 18 years old? State of most of our electrical components on site. A good number of them have overstayed their welcome and they are crying to be changed. Another thing is, another major issue with we Nigerians is that anytime we hear anything called social amenity, we always have this entitlement factor. We think it should be free, but then power should not be free. It is something that should be subscribed to. So a good number of people just feel like, oh, it's power, it is my birthright. So you see people stealing energy without being accountable for it. Another problem is the problem of policy making. Over time, Nigeria has been a country that's so much peculiar, that Nigeria has been a country that is very, very fond of duplicating whatever policy is happening abroad. We don't take time to think local and act global. We don't take time to generate solutions locally for ourselves. That is one issue I have with the privatization policy Nigeria embarked on in the year 2013. The Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, made a statement in the house. He said over 7.2 trillion naira was spent on power ever since the privatization has been done. Now, how can you privatize something and still be funding the same thing? The same way, you have a problem with, there's this problem with the privatization company. A good number of the stakeholders in that particular sector are incapacitated. They don't have enough capital and the technical know-how to manage those particular systems. And finally, on the challenges is inability to diversify electricity. Now, Nigeria, although I will agree with you that hydroelectricity is still one of the cleanest sources of generating electricity, but then what has happened to the sun that turns the African skin? What has happened to the wind that blows in the north? And what has happened to the gas flaring that takes place in our refineries? In 2016, the Niger Delta Power Holding Company reported that over 6 of their gas thermal stations had to shut down. Why? Because there was no gas to power them. This has shown the monocentricity of our power generation. Yes, I have the following solutions to profile. The first is restructuring of our power system. I believe that if all these aging components, if all these aging electrical components can be rejuvenated, we should buy new electrical components on site. And another thing is we should review the privatization policy. If these companies are not well to do, why not replace them with other functional ones? Why do we still have to be crying and crying out for Christ's sake? And another thing is technology and research. In the words of Professor Elias Bogoro, he said, for a research to be implementable and relevant, it has to be innovative. Nobody is challenging each and every one of us to come and reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is to be innovative with the local things we have. A good number of us will bear witness that the projects our graduates embark on these days are not projects that are relevant to our power system. What has happened to the field of power electronics? What has happened to research in superconductivity? I strongly believe that if more money can be pumped into research of these areas, our electricity can be rejuvenated. And another thing, the application of data science and machine learning to power system generation, we make these things very, very easier to govern. Now, imagine having a machine learning mechanism that is able to monitor your power grids and be able to report faults to you, even without faults happening at the instance. And use of data science to predict models. It will predict models that will enable us to come with the best model. Okay. And the last, okay. In conclusion, in the words of President John F. Kennedy, we do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. I also believe that NIEEE is doing this thing not because it is easy, but because it is the future. Power is beyond life. Yes, it is a life that can be generated, that can be distributed, and can be transmitted. Once again, I remain Emmanuel Peter, and I would like to tender my profound appreciation to NIEEE for giving me this platform to hear my view. Thank you so much.
Mr. Peter, thank you so much. Please, can we appreciate our wonderful children once again? That's something very good from them. Well, I'll be calling on one of the professionals in the house so that she can help us before we talk about the final assessment to pick the best. The presenters, in the course of their presentation, some of them must have made 1 or 2 errors. and we want them to learn. Because when I saw the way they are presenting, I recollected when I was in secondary school back then in Ogun State, Abeokuta. Once I step into any hall for literary and debating society, just know you are coming second. There is no, I was in St. Peter's College. Abeogram's people, they are usually very brilliant. Yes. I remember one of them, Shodoramu Kazim. He was the best graduating student in OAU when we left. But we came from Abeokuta. It was in Abeograms. I was in St. Peter's College. When it comes to quiz, I know I'm going to come second or third. But when you give me the mic, no matter who you are coming second. And then it is speak and talk. So, and that's what I keep doing till date. You know, it will be shocking that I've been an engineer, a graduate for over 20 years. Then I went into law. The money I've made in law for the past 2 years is more than what I've made in engineering for the past 22 years. I'm telling you. I have to tell you that very clearly. And the reason might just be because that ability to communicate, which I have built. I kept on saying the person that sent me to science class, for him, I want to fight that person. By now, I should have been a son, seriously. And so, but sir, there's a good news. I've written a book, which is the first in Nigeria. It's tagged Engineering Law in Nigeria. Yes, I've written that book because I wanted TEDFund to sponsor it. That is why I've not been giving it out to people, because I discovered that I can fix that lacuna. So I will bring up Mommy Oye Lekon so that she can help us talk to these children. This is how you can do it better before we now have the final scores. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman of today's occasion, our own engineer, Dr. Dauda Folarin, the newest 4th chairman of NIEEE Osogbo State Chapter, all other guests here present, and able presenters today. Please join me to appreciate all these beautiful people, handsome nation, hopeful citizens of Nigeria. In fact, their presentation this morning has brought hope to me as a person and to us as educators. Because I observe around that do we actually have students again? But I'm really impressed, especially by the last two speakers. One more time, appreciate them. You know, one thing about English language, normally we are all learning. It's not our mother's tongue. If you permit me to begin to speak Yoruba now, you will see the way I'll perform. But this one, I have to adapt to it. And they have tried. Honestly, I'm impressed. I noticed some of the grammatical, what we call grammatical errors in the expression. And because this is an educational setup, we need not to go home with such, so that in case of other time, because you guys are going higher. No, I noticed something. Somebody say, power are needed. Power needed. Power is a singular noun. Power is needed. Even though it may be, appearing in several ways. Power is needed. Please take note of that. Another thing is that it is this country. It is this country. It is in this country. Another major error that I discover is the issue of postpone. Many elders do make such errors too. We call it postpone. It's not postpone, postpone. To shift something forward. It's not postpone. Please note, in case of that time, postpone. The person that actually made that has noted it. All other speakers, they have done well. The last thing is policy somersault. It's not policy somersault. Policy somersault. Policy somersault. Thank you. These are the few things. Apart from that, all other ones, they differ. I'm impressed by the guy here. Please keep it up. The Lord take you to high places. I'm very proud of you. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate our experts for putting them through. I believe you have taken note of all the corrections. It's not to bring you down, no. It's to build. And I'm going to challenge you further. This is, when I saw you performing, I discovered that my humble self, I am even cheating your generation by not putting up programs to train you. You understand? You have to move on. You have all done well, because the most difficult thing when it comes to presentation is holding this mic to face the crowd. It's not usually very easy. You understand? You've done well. So I want you to push further, learn another language. I will shock you if I tell you that all I'm saying now, I can say it in French. Do you understand? I have built my CV to the extent that when my CV falls, you must run away. That's how it is. No, that's the truth. So you have to ensure that you build your CV so that it stands out among the rest. Do you understand? Our panel, the panelists, are you ready? Almost ready. It's not easy to put those things together. Yes. So the way the program is, excuse me, sir. The way the program is arranged, after this session, we'll be going into the second aspect, which is the, I don't want to say the program proper. No, I don't want to say that. But before they come up, let me ask us, truly, this, the young boys and girls, they've given us very wonderful presentation. What exactly is our problem with power? I have a question. NIEEE is meant for electrical electronics engineers, and if you look at our vision and our mission, you discover that computer engineers are also there. Though I don't like talking about computer engineering. Yes, the reason is that I know Engineer Matthias will want to fight me. When my daughter said, "Daddy, I have twins," one said, "Daddy, I want to be a lawyer." The other one said, "I want to be an engineer." The lawyer, I did not argue. I told her, as you are filling your JAMB form, write law. But the engineer, I had a problem, because I cannot see any reason why you will go to school and waste 5 years. I use that word without apology, to study computer engineering. The only relevance you have is if you are working in an academia. That's all. There is no post that is left strictly for computer engineers. And the reason why it's like that is because electrical electronics engineers have done everything that computer engineers are trying to do. But you know, for the sake of creating departments, so for the sake, I'm the HOD of computer engineering in Federal University of Ekiti. That's the only pride we have. There is nothing in deep learning. Even deep learning, you have the option. That is where Imam belongs. The telecommunication option is there. That is why now NIEEE is affecting us even in Korean. You see the Korean placing us under electrical electronics. And I told her, I said, look, there are basically 3 courses in engineering: electrical electronics, civil engineering, mechanical engineering. Some of you, your children are going to study mechatronics. Stop deceiving yourself. In Nigeria, there is nothing we are going to mechatronize. That's the truth. You see, it's a challenge for our leaders to now help us to see how things can be fixed. You understand? I'm talking of making these courses professional. When it comes to setting up a professional house, you cannot handle the electrical works if you are not a certified electrical electronics engineer. At least when it comes to professional jobs and what have you. But when it comes to anything computing, we don't build computers there. You understand? Nobody will say, no, a computer engineer must be there. If it's not there, this work cannot be done, except doing accreditation. Leaders, you have a lot to do for us in this field. Let me hand over to my friend. Thank you.
Well, my friend, Dr. Barrister, I so much fall in love with your analysis. Yes, engineers are very, very important. Lawyers are also very, very important. But with my discipline, without my discipline, you cannot be an active performing lawyer. Because everything you talked about is function of communication. Yes, and that is why we are the most important. All right, Mr. Chairman, sir, our guest, let me take you through quickly how we arrived on our assessment so that it would not remain a mirage to you. And by the time we make our pronouncement finally, you will all agree that we have tried our best. For the presentation, there are guidelines here that we followed. Let me start by saying that the total mark obtainable to the participant is 25 marks, which we split down as follows. For the appearance, we have 3 marks. Comportment confidence, ability to stand, face the crowd, and communicate effectively, 3 marks. Their communication skill is also assessed, 3 marks. For the organization of their presentation, their speech, we have 6 marks. The 6 marks is arrived at as follows. Salutation, because essentially they have competed in essay by submitting their write-ups. But today own is presentation. So we have to assess it now, not as essay, but as a speech presentation. And with that, the structure is as follows. Salutation is very, very important. We award 1 mark to that. The ability to be able to introduce their topic themselves, as well as to the limit, tell us what they set out to do in the rest aspect of the presentation, that is 3 marks. For the body, we have 1, conclusion 1, and that is why we arrived at that structure for the speech that is 6 marks. For the content, assessment of the content of their presentation now, we follow this breakdown. There should be an introduction. And when they are presenting their speech to a gathering like this, where we have engineer lawyers, where we have ordinary engineers, where we have non-engineers, there is need to make whatever they are presenting understandable to everybody. And that requires that when they come forward, they should be able to start by explaining to us what is Nigerian electrical system. They should be able to tell us from layman point of view, so that every person sitting down will understand, okay, this is what they want to talk about. Then after that, they should go ahead to evaluate the current position of Nigerian electrical power system. How is it now? Because that will lead us to why do we even need to address this topic now? If things are in order, we should be talking about another thing. So they should be able to tell us, evaluate, and tell us the current position of the Nigerian electrical power system. We also award 1 mark for that. Then, it is expected that they should at least bring up 2 key challenges. What are the challenges? Though most of them performed credibly here, because they presented even more than 2, minimum that we assessed. So for giving us 2 good challenges is 2 marks. Then they should be able to think further a little. When we have these challenges, what are the effects of the challenges on Nigeria as a country, Nigerians as individuals, all sectors of our economy? So ability to be able to do that, we also award them 1 mark. Then having gone through the challenges, it is expected that we go ahead to recommend solutions. And we expect them to at least give us 2 solutions to the problem they have identified. That also is awarded 2 marks. And as people used to say, that everything that has a beginning definitely must have an end. We expect them to also beautifully conclude their presentation by giving us a conclusion, and that is also awarded 2 marks. The totality of all the marks, if you calculate it from the first one to the last one, will give us a total of 25 marks. This is the criteria that we use to assess them. Now, the assessment and the result. At the end of our assessment, we come out with the following result. I said, and I'm repeating, that the total mark obtainable is 25. The first person out of the 25 marks available scored a total of 15.5 marks. And that is no other person than the candidate with registration number NIEEE OSCE 008, Temiloluwa Stephen Odeyemi. And by virtue of that, he emerged as 3rd position. Then the next person to be introduced scored 19.3 out of the total 25 marks available. And the candidate is registration number NIEEE OSCE 066, Anita Oyechi Bernard. And please stand up for recognition. And as a result of that, she emerged as number 2 candidate. Another round of applause for her, please. The 3rd person scored a total of 21.4 over 25 marks. And that is the candidate registration number NIEEE OSCE 011, and by name Emmanuel Peter, and therefore the first among the 3. Can we please start off for recognition? Can we please give him an outstanding you know, please, you can take your seat. You see, you know what surprised me most? The 2 of them are engineers in training. But the lady that came second is a physiotherapist in training. Another round of applause for her, please. So, my friend, MC, you can see that it's not only you, an engineer, becoming a lawyer now. A physiotherapist is also becoming a better engineer. Another round of applause. Over to you.
Please, let's put our hands together for them. That's wonderful. I was going to ask, now, well, your comments, 1, 2 minutes. Your comments. Thank you. Your comments.
I thank the organization for giving me an opportunity to talk about the situation of the power system of the country. Thank you so much.
So I came across this essay from a friend, and I'm glad that I just tried it out. So I'm glad that me trying it out just for fun produced good results. I'm grateful for the institution for this opportunity as well.
Well, and I would like to thank the NIEEE too, but then I would like us to look into the solutions highlighted in the essays, so that I will not just sleep on them. We should actually try to implement these solutions. Thank you, NIEEE. Thank you, NSC.
Thank you. DJ, let's have very, very cool music so that I can switch over. I'll be calling up. Thank you. Just 1 minute. Thank you. Engineer Oluwaseun Ojo, the General Secretary, you will be working with me as I bring our leaders to this side of the table. We'll be making presentation to our wonderful presenters in the course of the program. We appreciate you so much for what you have done, and the members of the panel that have done the good job, we equally appreciate it. Now, for Chairman, today's occasion, it's a singular honor to bring up our national chairman. Is someone who has always, he believed so much in the cause of NIEEE, and you can see it in everything he does. By the time he will be speaking to us about the vision, about the mission, you will understand how much he values what we are doing and how much he's putting into it. Our wonderful presenter, the Peter Emmanuel, that won the contest, he said he does not want this to go down the drain. I laughed because I know if I say that as he grows up he will understand, that means that things will not change. That means I'm saying things will not change. Because I remember that we were all zealous in our 20s, early 30s. Then we'll lose the zeal in our 40s and 50s. Then we'll forget the zeal in our 60s and 70s. It's always been like that. I really believe there is going to be a positive turnaround. Sir, in 2014, when Federal Polytechnic sent some of us to Germany, one thing is, in Germany, I know they don't have more than 4 hours of sunlight. And everything they do is solar. So I keep asking myself, how are they able to make this happen? In Nigeria here, the solar I fixed 2 weeks ago, I got there yesterday, they told me that by 2 a.m. it runs out of power. If you start work around 7:30 p.m. and by 2 a.m. that's run out of power. I'm not asking. Forget the money. What does it take to have solar that will work? You know what I'm talking about. So, and seriously, I know our bosses will talk about it. So please, join me with a standing ovation. I want you to celebrate as we bring to the high table Engineer Akan Michael. He's a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of Nigerian Institute of Electronics and Electrical Engineers. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to have you. Please, let's stand together for him. It's not easy to get to that level. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. You can have your seat, sir. You can sit down. DJ, when I call dignitaries like this, you play a song like Stand Up for the Champion. You see, we must celebrate our own. It's not easy. When you are a fellow, it's more or less like you are an advocate of Nigeria. That's just how it is. Because we don't just dash it out. You don't become a fellow overnight. It means you have paid your dues and you are found worthy. It's a privilege having you, sir. May God bless you. He's the chairman of today's occasion, and the chief host is my own brother and very good friend. He's, of course, definitely is an engineer, and apart from that, he's also the chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers in the Osogbo branch. That's the virtuous branch. Please join me as we bring up Engineer Wale Emmanuel Alonge. He's also a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers and a member of the NIEEE. Please, let's celebrate him. Thank you so much. God bless you. Now, the host today is the immediate past chairman. That's Engineer Jimo Adeshino Salami. Engineer Jimo Adeshino Salami. That's the host. Is the one hosting us If it's not here, we are not here. That's our host. Yes. The DJ is not an engineer, he's DJ. I love us because we have called him his name. You see, our host is politically dressed. Yes. Can we celebrate him? You see, our guys, this is what I'm saying. This is our program. We should all be in jeans. At your young age, you are still very young. I mean, let's celebrate him, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. Now, I'm going to bring up another wonderful person. He's my boss. When I had issues with becoming a registered engineer, I ran to him. Sir, help me. He said, we solve it. And sincerely, it got. Appointment. I ran to him. That day, I was just hoping he will not say, don't go. Seriously. Because if he says, Kilotu Loshembe, it ends there. The moment I told him, I'm going, and he said, okay, Okay, that's good. That's good. You are free. I said, Okpeo. It's true. You know, I remember I picked up a contract with Lautech Nursing before they parted ways. We have issues in Nigeria. To keep university, two states cannot. To keep university together. Everything is division. But it's not here today. You know, by the time I designed their software for them, and they felt they needed me to do something. They now had departmental meeting. They now asked, who can we report this engineer to? One of them said, we know his secret. Call the mom. I just saw his mom's call. Shobwali Buluwa. I'm here, sir. Lautech, Lord down low. He turns there. I was the one looking for the people who owe me money. You must have a father so that you can go further. Celebrate engineer T.A. Abdulhamid. Thank you so much. Now, the special guest of honor is here with us. By the time I came around, I saw some wonderful men downstairs in uniform. When I saw them well positioned, initially I was like, what is happening? We are engineers. And you know, we use a lot of instruments as engineers, except gun. So when I saw them with the instrument we don't use, I was like, am I still at the right venue? Because, you know, so I wanted to be sure. But by the time I parked, I discovered that they greeted me calmly, but well positioned. I guess they must have sized me up that his car is safe. But I was still wondering why, because I saw them in numbers. I never knew it's because of our special guest of honor. And we have him, he's not ably represented. He is here himself in person. And that is one special thing about him. You see, when no matter the height you get to in life, humility, when it goes with you, you see that respect, honor, open doors will always be yours. And this is one of the attributes of our Brigadier General. You will never know he is at that level. You will never know until when you begin to see his maybe CV being rolled out. I'm about to do. Please join me as we call on Brigadier General K.F. Sulaiman. He's the commander, ECCNAE, Ede, Osun State. Please, he's our special guest of honor. Please, sir. You are most welcome, sir. You are most welcome. Well done, sir. It's not easy to get to that level. He's also an engineer. Thank Eyin Yawa. Please, can you celebrate him for me? Can you celebrate him? You see, in Nigeria, we don't like promoting ourselves. At that level, by the time an average person talks of the Nigeria security system, you always wash it down. This is an engineer who is also a general. It does not come easy. Please, can we celebrate him? Can we celebrate him? Thank you so much. So, I will also bring up my boss, the Deputy Rector of Federal Polytechnic, the Engineer Dr. J.O. Kwetinrin. Please, straight to the high table. Can we just celebrate him? Straight to the high table. And Dr. J.O. Kwetinrin, straight to the high table. Those are the fathers of the profession. He understands it. He started practically and he moved until he got to that level. You are welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Now let's quickly run to page 9. We have done that. Recognition of guests and dignitaries. It continues. The essay competition has been handled. I will now go straight to... Okay. Oh, good. I should do this. Engineer Femi Ayekomi Logbon. That's the chairman Southwest Forum of NIEEE. Please, engineer, sir. Please, let's keep clapping for him. Let's keep clapping for him. Thank you so much. So, because of our time, as engineers, page 9 is guiding us. So, I'll be going straight to the welcome address by the outgoing NIEEE chairman of Osogbo chapter. That is Engineer. Okay, I want to bring him in. Okay. Okay. I've been corrected to bring up the person for whom we are here is the reason why we are here. You see, he has also changed now, and we just have to celebrate him. Engineer Dr. Dauda Folarin. That's the new chairman of the fourth chairman of the NIEEE. Please let's put hands together for him. He's a determined achiever. He's a determined achiever. When he sets up to do something, yes. Mommy is here. We want mommy to come up. Mrs. Folarin, please. Mrs. Folarin, please come up. Come up. You have to support him at this point. It is time. We are celebrating him, and we accept that. Thank you so much. Yes. Please, let's put our hands together for him once again. Engineer Folarin is someone that, in Federal Polytechnic, he was the one that brought up the value of that name, engineer. When you call engineer in Federal Poly, you are talking of Dr. Folarin, because he personalized that name. Let's celebrate him. When it comes to issue of dedication, achievement, he does not toy with any work he's given to do. So I don't have any doubt that by the time he will be handing over, the fifth chairman will have a long way to go, because Engineer Dr. Folarin will have done a lot. You can see the caliber of people here today, the list of awardees, and you can be sure of what to expect. So, because of our time, I don't want to keep us waiting. The welcome address will be taken by the outgoing NIEEE chairman, Osogbo chapter. That is one of our leaders, the young man in our midst, Engineer J.A. Salame. Thank you so much, sir.
The MC, I thank you for a wonderful work you have started with. But for clarity and protocol, I want to set the protocol. We want to recognize His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Osun State, His Excellency Isiaka Adeboyega Oyetola, who is the distinguished guest for this occasion. The representative we are expecting, and in no distant time, the representative will join us, because His Excellency has sent a message that he won't be able to be here for a known reason. We know what it is in Abuja today. After that, I want to recognize the national chairman of this noble institute who has taken his time. We are the baby. He has taken his time to come and see and felicitate and see what we are doing down here in the person of Engineer Akan Michael, MNSC, FNIEEE. You are welcome, sir. Supporting my national chairman is the Southwest Forum of NIEEE. About 5 of our chairmen in the 5 chapters are here represented. Those are the people that constituted the Southwest Forum of NIEEE. The chairman of the forum is hereby recognized, and that is Engineer Ayekomilodbon Femi, is the chairman of Akure chapter and the chairman of the Southwest Forum. You are welcome, sir. Now, the father of the day, for today's occasion is Senator Ayoade Ademola Adeseun, a senator that once represented Oyo State. We have message, he's on his way, and he will soon join us. You are recognized, he's the father of the day. May I also recognize the guest speaker for today occasion. That is the lecturer for today. And it has been given to the right man there. Round peg in a round hole. And that is Engineer Dr. Abdulhamid Taufik Adekunle, MNSC, MNIEEE. The rector, one of the newest rector, though he's getting old now, I think some are coming behind, but then he still remains the newest rector in this gathering today of Federal Poly. Ayede, you are welcome, sir. The MC has spoken so much about the security. It didn't come freely like that. It's because Oga, who is an engineer and feel proud, and it is at his highest to associate with engineering always. We have here with us today the Brigadier General K.F. Suleiman, the Commander, Engineer Construction Command, NIEEE Ede. You are welcome, sir. The chairman that is about coming in is in Ede, and I want to recognize the rector who has permitted us time, because he will have given him another assignment today, but he has spared us today and gave him the time to come and join us, and that is Prince Dr. John Taiwo Adekolawole, the rector, Federal Poly, Ede. I don't know whether he's there. He will also be there. After that, I want to recognize the chief host for today. NIEEE is a division under NIEEE. And my chief host happens to wear about 2 caps. I will say about 2 caps, because I may discover that he wear another one which I don't know, which I may not remember immediately. The first cap is that is representing our president, national president of NSC, and is also the chairman of NSC Osogbo branch, under which NIEEE is a division and a chapter there. And good enough is one of us in NIEEE. That's Engineer Wale Emmanuel Alonge, MNSC, NIEEE. You are welcome, my chairman. By that, we want to recognize the awardees. We have chosen about 7 people have been identified for a special recognition in form of a presentation, awarding in different areas where we have looked into. They have been excellent there, they have performed excellently well there, and we have identified them. Their names are there in the brochure. Also, I want to recognize my past chairman of this noble chapter, who also happened to be the pioneer chairman of this Osogbo chapter, and that's Engineer Zubair Adetomiwa, MNSC, FINIEEE. Thank you very much for gracing the occasion. As that has been catalogued, some will be coming in between. The MC, you have done a good job before me. You made it easier for me to do. I want to welcome everybody to this hall. And the MC flattered me a bit when I came and said, I'm a political engineer. Not really. It's because you are celebrating me today. We thank God that the few times we were there, we didn't end up killing the institute, the chapter. And that's why I feel elated and feel high today. We thank God for that. My fellow professional colleagues and our distinguished invitees who have honored our invitation, you are all welcome. It gives me a great pleasure to stand before you today as an outgoing chairman of this great association, of this great institute, which is being represented in this arm as a chapter. May I start by committing all praises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whom only deserves the glorification for sparing our lives to be part of today's epoch-making event. May His blessings remain with all of us as we gather here to perform official inauguration of the 4th administration of NIEEE of Osogbo chapter and investiture of the 4th chairman of NIEEE Osogbo chapter. The regime that bestowed the leadership on me came to be in March 2019 with a 2-year mandate. The years gone by were not easy. In fact, the years were very challenging due to unprecedented constraints imposed on our general living pattern by the worldwide outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic in the year 2020. Despite that, despite the constraints, we are delighted to say we made some moderate move in elevating, in lifting up the chapter. We appreciate God, the omnipotent, for counting us among the living, and our sympathy goes to the victim that paid the supreme price for the outbreak, for the pandemic, and those that suffer bruises from the unexpected and the ravage that went round. On behalf of my humble self, as the outgoing chairman, and my ESCO members, we are grateful to the entire member of the chapter for their unrelenting resilience and great support they accorded our team to making the moderate achievement and success that God granted us during our short time in areas of the membership drives, promotion of the institute ideas, improvement of professionalism among members, and greater participation in the activities of our noble institute. We thank God for this moderate achievement. We also wish to exploit this opportunity to appreciate our predecessors in office for their wonderful and enduring foundation which they laid, which undoubtedly served as a consolidated base for us to build on. With today's event, I wish to appreciate and thank God for his grant of success to our administration, which is officially winding up by today's event. And we are noting that we are successfully passing the mantle of leadership of our chapter to a willing.
Welcome to the state of Osun. And on behalf of the virtuous engineers, I welcome you to the state. The chairman of the chapter, the outgoing and the incoming, I recognize you. I want to appreciate all the ESCO, the outgoing and the incoming. The past chairmen, sir. I'm still missing one of them, I hope, and I believe he will soon join us. Sir, what you have started, happy you are to see it trending. Congratulations once again, Engineer Subaru. I want to appreciate my ESCO, the ESCO of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Osogbo, who are here with us, ably led by a woman, but a chairman, a vice chairman. So, Engineer Mrs. B.A. Oyebode, you are recognized. My treasurer is here. My welfare is here. The F official is here. So, NIEEE, if we have any bill, I will pay, even before leaving this hall. So, I'm here completely and even in full force to be here this morning. I want to appreciate the elders, the fellows of Nigerian Society of Engineers here present, the fellow of NIEEE here present, and by extension, I want to appreciate the Forum of Southwest, ably led by chairman, and all chapter chairmen that are here. You are welcome to the state of Osun. There are very many dignitaries in this hall. One of them is taking the lead in delivering the lecture today. When I saw it, I said, you won't miss it because I know you, and you have not missed it. The director of the program says he's mentor. I want to see this as too low, even to qualify him. It's a mentor of mentor, because I've been mentoring now. He mentored me, and I'm mentoring now. Those are mentors. So he's a big mentor. Mentor of mentors of mentors of mentors. A leader. A father. A brother in all forms. Very humble a man. Let me just tell you here. The first day I tasted Hollandia. This Hollandia yogurt you are seeing. This man here sitting gave it to me. The first day I tasted it, I was in his office for an official assignment. I went there to work, but he won't leave me until he personally entertained me. He gave me an Olaida. I took it home. I did not tell him that day I'm seeing that thing for the first time. I took it home. I read through all the carton. Sir, you wouldn't know you did it that day, but I told you today publicly, you are the first person to give me an Olaida. So if I'm telling you he's a leader, he's a mentor, I can qualify him with so many things. Sir, I'm happy seeing you. I'm happy hearing about you, and you are still going places. The rector, a pioneer rector of an institution. Even when no one think of it, the name came to the limelight. I celebrate you, sir. I wish you success in all your endeavor. Let me just stop at that. Another mentor is here. Another brother is here. A very humble man too. I believe probably he take after him. So it's not a format of electrical electronics in engineering, in Federal Polytechnic, a very unique department. You can see them. You can see them. I celebrate you all. They have so many things in common. Why? Because they have leaders. They have mentors, and they are very humble to take after them. Sir, the Deputy Rector, Federal Polytechnic Ede, I want to appreciate you. Thank you for your support always. He won't talk too much, but his word of advice goes places. Here today, I have another humble man. I want to put it this way, Engineer Brigadier General K.F. Sulaiman. A very unique man too. The first day I met him in person, I gave him my card. This man happened to be the first person to call me. He called me, I've not even saved his number. So I was wondering, a Brigadier General, coupled with his address that day, he was to decorate a newly promoted officer. So he doesn't behave like a military man. He was telling his men, this is how you behave yourself. And I saw it in him. Very humble man. He did a wonderful thing this week. He has been doing wonderfully well. Another thing he did, I will announce during the next meeting, sir. I won't tell everybody here. But he surprised me just this week. He paid me a visit, a very surprise visit, in his humble manner. And before the end of that day, he did another wonderful thing. Sir, I don't know. I want to say thank you publicly, even though I won't say what you have done. So, NSC Osogbo member, if you are here, keep clapping. Keep clapping. And clap for the man. Thank you, sir. I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate every distinguished guest in this hall. You are welcome to this occasion. This is how we do our thing, NIEEE. So also, I want to appreciate every staff of Federal Polytechnic Ede. That is my second home. We are living to see today. I'm not a staff, but I'm a staff. We started together, and I'm happy seeing you going places. So when Engineer Folarin came on board, I said, no problem. I know he will surely deliver with the support of Federal Polytechnic Ede. And I want to appreciate the support you have given so far. Just this morning, somebody has just commented it, that Federal Polytechnic Ede is doing well. You are doing well, and you will still do more. Sir, don't worry. I see that your hand, though. I want to appreciate the rector in absentia. I know he will join us. I want to say thank you to him for supporting our profession. This morning, I won't take much of your time. My national chairman has talked. I'm just speaking as host, just to tell you I want to welcome you. But briefly, the essay competition organized, like the national chairman said, the first of its kind at the national level just took place this year. And for Engineer Folarin thinking of replicating such, even in a very wonderful manner, I want to say thank you, sir. You did very well. And I want to give it unto that lady among the contestants. A very brilliant lady. The lady that we should be proud of. Not a student of engineering doing such a thing. He said he thought of giving it a shot, and he gave it a shot. He's performing. I want to believe probably after leaving this place, he will consider changing to engineering. But if you did not change to engineering, don't forget that mission. Keep it up. Say it out. Some are saying it out, some are shouting it out, some are louding it in another form, but you have louded it in a very unique form. You've been able to identify the problem of this nation. And without power, we cannot fix anything in this nation. Without power, we can't fix it. So please, don't keep silent. And regards to the school management, I realized when he came to the secretariat, he was given a very unique escort. I said, who is this? And they told me, I asked further questions. That was when I realized She is not a student of engineering and doing wonderfully well to identify the problem of this nation. That shows not just because a lawyer is heading that ministry that we are having problem. Some other people can head that ministry and we have solution to it. So please, let us not be sentimental. Let us do the needful. The national chairman identify the very basic and elementary problem, of which some of us take pride in it. You see some big fish stealing, bypassing meter. They have dogs at their gate. They have security men at their gate. You just hear, Oga no day. I can't open gate, and they are bypassing. Empty rooms, AC are cooling the room. Nobody utilizes it. That is energy waste. Not just stealing the energy. We are wasting the little energy we've been able to secure. So the national chairman had mentioned this. Let our attitude change. Let's see how we can face the problem of this nation. We pray God will help us. Once again, there is going to be a lecture today. The lecturer will tell us. I know him now, and you all know him. He will tell us. So please sit back and listen to him keenly, because he has something unique to tell you. Once again, I want to congratulate the incoming who had been performing. He's just coming in, and he has been performing. So I wish you more success. May God be with you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate the chairman of NIEEE Osogbo branch once again. Let's put hands together for him. Engineer Wale Alonge. That's wonderful. Now, I want to recognize some dignitaries that came in. I want us to see them and celebrate them. Dr. A.S. Amuson, that's the Dean of School of Applied Sciences, Federal Polytechnic. Please, let's put hands together for him. In the same vein, I need to recognize the presence of my boss, the Dean of School of Engineering Technology, Engineer D.O. Olatunji. Please put hands together for him. That's wonderful. Now, we are going to the investiture lecture to be delivered by Engineer Dr. Abdulhamid Taufik Adekunle, a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a member of the NIEEE. But the citation, the profile of the guest speaker will be handled by the Deputy Rector ACAD. Thank you so much. So, the reason why this is a lesson I learned, sir. That's why I came to you. When you want to read profile of someone, it's either someone that is very close in rank or equal in rank that is qualified to reach such profile. Because I remember when the VC of LASU came to Foyer to deliver a lecture, they now looked around. No, a doctor cannot read the profile. It must be a professor. It cannot be an ordinary professor. It must be a professor that has held an administrative post. When there was no one in the hall, the VC of Foyer himself read our profile. So that is why you are the only one qualified to do justice as a deputy rector reading the profile of a rector. And the peculiarity of his rectorship, just as my brother said, I love that word, is a mentor of mentors. The peculiarity of his rectorship is he is a pioneer rector. You know, you don't name the street after the best house, but the first house. The best can be contested, but the first cannot be. Congratulations, Imam. So please be on your feet, sir. Yes. Okay. Engineer, please help us dress the guest speaker
All glory, honor, and adoration belong to Almighty God. On behalf of the new chairman, the executive member of Nigerian Institute of Electrical Engineers, National and Osogbo chapter, you are hereby decorated as the guest speaker for today's occasion.
Thank you so much. So I will hand over to the Deputy Rector to do justice.
I'm highly to be the person that will read of my friend, my boss, Dr. Taufik Adekunle Abdulhamid. It is a great privilege. Engineer Dr. Taufik Adekunle Abdulhamid had BNG degree in electrical engineering from the University of Ilorin in 1981. He had his master in industrial production engineering from UI in 1999, and another master degree in technology management from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, in 2008. He had another master in engineering, 3 master degree now, in engineering, in electrical engineering from the University of Ilorin in 2011. After which, he had his PhD in technology management from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, in 2014. Presently, he's not relenting in study, in academic study. He's undergoing another PhD degree in University of Ilorin, which he will confer of him very soon. Engineer Dr. Taufik Abdulhamid has several fellows in different societies and engineering and associations, fellow of the Chartered Institute of Production and Quality Management, Institute of Management Consultant, Institute of Policy Management Development, and is a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Is also a member of Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, a member of Nigerian Institute of Engineering Management, and a member Institute of Industrial Engineering, a member Internet Society, and associate member Nigerian Institute of Management. I think a round of applause for him. Presently, he's a registered professional engineer with Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. He joined the service of Federal Polytechnic Ede, Osun State on the 16th day of May 1994, and he rose from the post of assistant lecturer to chief lecturer. During the period when he was at Ede, he held several positions, like head of Department of Electrical Electronics Engineering. Not only that, he happened to be the Dean, School of Engineering Technology, for many years. And later, he happened to be the Director of Quality Assurance, Federal Polytechnic Ede. Dr. Taufik Adekunle Abdulhamid has served in many committees within and outside the institution. At Federal Polytechnic Ede, he has been chairman and members of different societies and committees. And he has been chairman and member of many accreditation committees under the MBT in different schools and in different departments. He has served as external examiners in different polytechnics in Nigeria. And not only that, he has been an assessor of different categories of status, from assistant lecturer to chief lecturer. He has been an assessor in different polytechnics. Engineer Dr. Taufik Adekunle Abdulhamid won Astute Publication Administrator Award from the Forum of Ex of Federal Government Establishment in Nigeria in 2018. He had the overall Best Master Thesis Award at the University of Ilorin, Nigeria in year 2010. Thank you for putting your hands together for him. It's in year 2010, Osun State, he had Osun State Distinguished Personality Award winner given by the Osun State government. Engineer Dr. Taufik Abdulhamid became a chief lecturer, as I've told you, at Federal Polytechnic Ede in 2012. And before he left Federal Polytechnic Ede, he has not left Federal Polytechnic Ede. He's still a staff of Federal Polytechnic Ede, because we released him on. Yes, he's still a staff of Federal Polytechnic Ede. He's only on secondment of Federal Polytechnic Ayede. Yes, he's on yes, he's on leave of absence. So before he went on leave of absence from Federal Polytechnic, he happened to be the Director of Quality Assurance. And by the special grace of God today, Dr. Taufik Abdulhamid Adekunle, because of his integrity, because of his academic excellence, because of his contribution to the Nigeria as a whole, and when the federal government was creating 6 universities, 6 polytechnics, is the only one that came from the polytechnic, according to the Nigerian profile. And presently is the federal rector, the pioneering rector, Federal Polytechnic Ayede Ekiti. Engineer Dr. Taufik Abdulhamid is happily married. Federal Polytechnic, Ayede, Oyo State. Thank you. So, maybe because I graduated from Ado Ekiti, maybe that is why that Ado Ekiti came to my mind. So, Engineer Dr. Taufik Abdulhamid is happily married to Alaja Fatima Omoumi Abdulhamid. The marriage is blessed with 4 promising children. His research interests include power electronics, telecommunication, and technology management. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hereby present to you Dr. Engineer Taufik Adekunle Abdulhamid to present his lecture. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Governor of the State of Osun, Alhaji Isiaka Adegboyega Oyetola, the National Chairman, NIEEE, Engineer Akan Michael, the Chairman, Nigerian Society of Engineers Osogbo Branch, Engineer Wale Emmanuel Alonge, our special guest of honor, Brigadier General K.F. Sulaiman, the pioneer chairman of NIEEE Osogbo, Engineer Adetomiwa Zubai, the immediate past chairman of NIEEE Osogbo, Engineer J.A. Salami, our deputy rector, academics, Federal Polytechnic Ede, the incoming chairman and his wife, Engineer Dr. Dauda Folarin. I can see so many people here that deserves to be mentioned. But I will not permit me, simply because I hear the national chairman saying we want to be here just only for 3 hours. Am I right? And out of that 3 hours, I think we have spent more than 2.5 hours. So whatever I want to do, I must be very, very, very brief. I can see one of the people who was always advising us while we, like the DR said, I'm still in it anyway. While he was in service, once in a while, he will advise us. I can see Dr. Ajewole coming in. I can see my dean in School of Engineering Technology. I can see Apwen there. You are highly recognized. So many people from Osun, several institutions here and there, all of you are highly recognized. But permit me just to be very conscious of time. So I will just say all protocols duly, respectfully, and humbly observed. You are all recognized. I have been given an assignment, and the day I was called to give that, that I am going to be the one to deliver this lecture. I told the chairman organizing committee that it is not proper for me to be here to deliver this lecture. He said, why? I said, 1, Engineer Dr. Dauda Folarin has been a brother and a friend for more than 35 years. We are so close Very, very close indeed. So I should be one of the people that will be hosting you people that will come here. I said that is, he said one. I said two. By virtue of my schedules nowadays, I myself cannot even predict my time. Sometimes I can be in Abuja hoping to come home on Friday, only to be told on Thursday that there's another meeting on Tuesday, so I will just stay put. So he said, well, whatever it is, you are the one that the committee decided to choose, and that there is no way I'm going to find time out of no time to come down and deliver this lecture. I insisted I would not. He said no. After a few minutes of discussion, I had no choice other than to say, okay, yes, I will come around to deliver the lecture. I requested to deliver something that is very pertinent, something that is very, very important to each and every one of us. We are seated here this afternoon, this morning. We are here simply because we know we are safe. Honestly speaking, it's because we know we are safe. Security. No, we are not safe, we won't be here. We are not well secure, certainly we will not be here. But today, it is quite unfortunate that in our own country today, security, the issue of security is quite challenging. Hardly will you see anyone in his right senses today, except he doesn't have enough money. If he has enough money with him, he will prefer going by train from Abuja to Kaduna and never by vehicles through road. He will prefer that. I've seen instances when people will say in Abuja, people will say, no, I can never go through to Kaduna now. I will wait for the train to come the next 2 or 3 days. Sometimes you just feel somehow that Kaduna, Abuja, that you and I, many of us, we used to traverse that road so many times in the past, in the 80s, in the 90s, even as 2000s, 2010. But today, it is quite unfortunate that the situation we are finding ourselves today. So I've been requested to discuss the industrial revolution and its influence on security architecture and operations in Nigeria. Well, because I want to be very, very brief, where is the pointer? I said you give me the pointer. Give me the pointer so that I can run fast enough. I'm starting by definition. When you talk about industrial revolution, everybody knows, you see in academics, there's something. What are the key terms? What are the key terms here? You want to talk about industrial? Everybody knows when you are talking about industrial, it's there now. So, but industrial, what does it mean? We talk about industries. I won't waste our time. When you talk about revolution has to do with changing the condition of a particular, changing the status, changing the conditions, especially when it is changed in such a way that it becomes so marvelous indeed. You are coming from one end before and you are now realizing you are at another point, different completely from where you are coming from hitherto, and giving you more advantages, even than the advantages you were having before now. So when you talk about fourth industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution is characterized by a fusion of disruptive technologies. Before I even go into that, Bishop Ojo, please time me. 20 minutes of this time, I must wind up this lecture. At most, when it is 10 minutes, you indicate. When it is 15 minutes, you indicate. And so that I will be able to, otherwise, the more I'm reading, the more I will be saying one thing or now. When you talk about, I remember vividly when I first entered university, a professor of engineering was telling us, he was defining engineering for us. And he would tell us that engineering is the ability to conquer the forces of nature for the benefits of mankind. Look at that definition. He gave us several definitions, but the one that appeals most to me is that definition. That engineering is the ability to conquer the forces of nature for the benefits of what? For the benefit of mankind. You see, there are so many forces in nature, and most of these forces are being utilized. The forces are there naturally, provided by God. But your own thinking, our rational thinking, our ability, our expertise, our knowledge, our wisdom will give us that sense, will give us the opportunity to be able to harness that such resource or resources, and for us to be able to do what? To benefit mankind. We want to see here today whether today our engineering, we are using it to benefit mankind or it is the contrary, or whether we are using both. We want to x-ray that today very, very briefly indeed. When you talk about the fourth industrial revolution, It is characterized by a diffusion of disruptive technologies that facilitate the complete automation of manufacturing facilities and the integration of a company's supply chain partners. These technologies encompass both software and hardware components. Some of the major industry 4.0 technology and concepts are what I will briefly discuss. The mere fact that I'm saying fourth industrial revolution, it means there must be first, there must be second, there must be the third, and then this is the fourth. It is the fourth that you now want to x-ray. Which one is the first, which one is the second, which one is the third? You will see in one of my diagrams. Please keep on rolling. A number of industrial revolutions times in history. These industrial revolutions have resulted in accelerated economic growth and improved quality of life for people around the world. You see, the essence of any knowledge, especially engineering, is to improve our qualities of life. If our quality of life is improving, on a daily basis, then we say we are making meaningful of what life offers us. If it is not, then it means we are not progressing at all. And that is why many a time, what we will call advantages at times, when you look at it critically, you will discover that instead of putting such things as advantages for us, they are becoming disadvantages for us. I'm coming back to what Engineer Hackman said initially. Because no matter how brilliant we are in terms of engineering, in terms of whatever, our attitudinal characteristics is the most important. Attitudinal characteristics is the most important, and that was what he was telling us. I'm still coming back to that. So major technological achievements may imply significant public policy issues. When technology is growing, there are some public policy issues that must go along with it. Otherwise, people will misuse technology. Technology is more or less like a two-edged sword. You can use it to make or mar. Any technology whatsoever, you either use it to make or you make it to mar. Or use it to mar, rather. So, government needs to put in place certain policies that will ensure an effective use of technologies. I remember vividly, while I was at University doing my master's program, there's a particular course, which they titled the course as the pros and cons of technologies. The pros and cons of technologies, and that is to say, your technology can put you at an advantage, or your technology can put you at a disadvantage. It depends on focus. It is not about the techniques alone. It is not about conquering the forces of nature alone. It is about your attitude towards using what you have been able to conquer. Talking about fourth revolution, as mentioned by Mr. Hackman, I will be brief on that. You are talking of things like big data. When you talk about big data, you are referring to large and complex data sets. As we are seated here, whether we like it or not, we are making impact as far as the entire world, not even there alone. The whole world itself, we are making impact, whether we like it or not. You may not know it, you may not realize it, but what we are doing here today, we are making our own impact, positively or negatively, no matter. And what you are doing here can even be quantified in terms of data, depending on parameters you are setting for yourselves. You can do them. So when you are now aggregating data all over, you talk about big data, it will contain potentially valuable information. Big data analytics, as the name implies, is the process of evaluating big data to elicit trends and other actionable business insights, which could ultimately benefit the company, the society, an organization, or what have you. I won't go into too much details about that because of time. When you are talking about fourth industrial revolution, you are talking about simulation. Many of us seated here are engineering students. You know what simulation is all about? Abstraction into realities. When you want to do a particular thing, you simulate. You want to test it. I still remember one of our teachers. When I say our teachers, I mean myself and Dr. Folarin teacher, Professor Luleye of the Industrial Engineering Department at the University of Ibadan. The very first day he would teach us, the very day he wanted to teach us simulation. He now said, look, he used an aircraft as a typical example. He said, we are trying to design an aircraft and we are going to test it. Immediately, when we are able to put our parameters, able to assemble the engines and what have you, then we just take it into the air and then we test it there. He now asked that question. He said, assuming there is a fault along the line, our design is not proper, what will happen to us? Everybody said, we are all gone. He now said, that is the essence of simulation. abstraction into realities. You gather some parameters together, you test them via computer simulation method. You want to look at it, how will it work in reality? You are just abstracting. You want to see how will it look in reality. Assuming I put A, B, and C together, what will be the result? That is simulation. Everything today, you can simulate so many things in the world today, and it will give you an idea of what will happen in reality. So when you talk about all this, I remember again, there's no you want to talk about simulation without talking about optimization. And optimization is something to even cut across all facets of life. Anything you want to do, you want to optimize. What is optimization? Maximizing profits and minimizing what? Minimizing costs. Simulation. Then you talk about IoT, Internet of Things. It's an extension or next developmental phase of the Internet, which was invented over 2 decades ago. IoT is a computing concept that describes the integration of different physical objects. You see, Internet of Things simply means connecting things together. Internet of Things. Things. A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so on. Connecting everything together in such a way that they have influence on one another. And when you want to get an information, it is so easy for you. At the flick of your hanger, you are able to get such information. We call Internet of Things. It's part and parcel of what is called the 4th industrial revolution today. It has not been in existence until about 20, 25, 30 years ago. And today people are making judicious use of it in security network. I'm coming to relate it to security. You talk about cloud as well. When you talk about 4th industrial revolution, that has to do with what? Is a global network of remote servers that are interconnected via the internet and operate as a single ecosystem. Look at it. They are connected together as a global network of remote servers. They are connected via the internet and they operate as a single ecosystem. There are so many indeed. There are so many informations. But you put them as if they are one. In such a way that effect of one is felt on the other. And when you need that information, easily you can retrieve it. Easily you can it. Easily you can do and undo with it. When you talk about 4th industrial revolution, again, you are talking about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, everybody knows robots. Yeah. Everybody knows that most of the industries in the civilized world today, productions are usually through robots today. Many of the industries, instead of doing some jobs manually, punishing, I use the word punishing, quote and unquote, human beings. These are things that robots can do easily. And robots will even do it efficiently, even far better than the way human beings would do such. Artificial intelligence today is the in thing. It's a cognitive science which covers several research areas. Amongst other robotics, machine learning, image processing, and so on and so forth. It embodies software and hardware that can learn and perform tasks typically performed by humans that can necessarily require a certain level of perception. Let me leave that aside as well because of time. When you are talking about 4th industrial revolution, you are talking about additive manufacturing. What is additive manufacturing? We want to construct a house, for instance, now. Let me use that as an illustration. Rather than building the house at a time, you want to produce the three-dimensional. In 3 dimensions in such a way that you will see the house and then you can, any test that you want even to carry out on such a house, you should be able to carry it out. And it will still give you the exact result if translated into reality. This is what we call additive manufacturing. It's an umbrella of technologies or processes capable of manufacturing an object from a 3-dimensional computer model or design. That is why today we say, whether you like it or not, sincerely yours, we can't be in the forefront except some of these technologies we adopt and make use of them, except we train our students to know them very well, except we train them to know how to make use of them so that we can be at par. And even if not at par, at least the distance will not be so much. Because as of today, we are lagging behind. Seriously. There's no doubt about that. We are lagging behind seriously. Then when you talk about 4th industrial revolution, you are talking about what is called augmented reality or virtual reality. These are 2 different concepts that are human-machine interactions. Augmented reality is an interactive technology that digitally inserts an object into the operator's physical environment, while virtual reality effectively shuts out the user from the physical world, even if you don't know anything. Virtually all of us that are seated here, at one time or the other, we have engaged in Zoom meeting, isn't it? At one time or the other, we have engaged in Google meeting, isn't it? At one time or the other, Today, things are so easy because of this industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution. Now, blockchain, I'm happy. My brother, Engineer Akpan, has spoken about it in his speech as well, as if he has read through my paper when he was mentioning it. And that is, truth is always constant, you know. Now, blockchain became popular around 2008 with the introduction of Bitcoin cryptocurrency. But I want to tell you that apart from cryptocurrency, blockchain are useful in industries today. They can be used to enhance transparency and security. What is called blockchain? In logistic processes and supply chains. Today, with due respect to our general that is just seated, we will even be told, we have been told severally, that some will even compromise as far as the issue of Boko Haram is concerned. Among the so-called personnel that are supposed to be what? To be securing the nation, we have been told, with due respect to you, sir, that some of the soldiers are even compromised. If blockchain has been in effective use, they will discover who and who is compromising. Sincerely yours. Apart from that, apart from the soldiers that are in the forefront, that are in the war front, rather, we are even told that many big politicians are behind this Boko Haram of a thing. Because people are making their millions and billions out of the war. So, if we have that technology, sincerely yours, these are things that can easily inform us what is going on. When you are talking about intelligence in this country, our people are trying really, but intelligence has gone beyond what it was before. Today, intelligence is more reliable when you use your technology. The reliability of intelligence today, it correlates directly with the type of technology you are employing. Now, I'm going to jump 1 or 2 pages because of time. Challenges in applying 4 high technologies. You see, when you are talking about technologies, 4 high technology, 4.0, some people call only 4.0 technologies, or 4th industrial revolution technologies. Democratization of AI tech will allow terrorists to possess means to develop and deploy counter-analytics capabilities, making adversarial artificial intelligence a viable threat. What we are saying is this, I've mentioned it. Sometimes when there is no government policy restricting the use of certain things, people are bound to misuse it. But we are in a global world. If government is going to put censor on the use of a particular thing, it means the policy itself, the policy makers themselves, they must know the nitty-gritty of such technologies. Even if the policy makers don't know it, those that are supposed to be in trust of such technologies, they must know the nitty-gritty of such technologies, and that is what is lacking in our own country today. So when you talk about this, because of time, what's the time left, please? I don't even think you are looking at it. 10 minutes go, fine. Now, impact of the 4th IR on defense and security architecture. Why the 4th IR are ushering a new reality of cyber war, which are cross borders, even though technology could be used in disruptive ways, especially when combined with imagination. Hence, defense and security organizations must change to adapt quickly and be imaginative to drive real innovation. The 4th IR could not only boost productivity, but also bring about a revolution in military affairs. Technologies driving the 4th IR could be used for both good and what is bad. I have said it repeatedly. Honestly speaking, if we are ready, as it has been submitted by the national chairman, Engineer Akpan, if we are ready, our country can develop seriously, even rapidly, far more than Singapore. Sincerely yours. It is because we are not ready, and it is about attitude. It's as simple as that. Today, majority of us, I can say without any fear of contradiction that 90% of those of us who are Nigerians, the younger ones, our attitudes are so bad indeed. You will see people telling you that, look, if you cannot beat them, you join them. You see people telling you that they are how to make money in whatever ways. You see people compromising security simply because their intention is to make more money. You will see people, corruption is the bane of our society today. And that is the problem we are having. And it still boils down to attitude. I'm still coming back. The 4th industrial revolution was complex as it aimed to replace the human brain. Not just its function, but also the intellectual and emotional aspects. Symbiotic relationship between humans and technology. What is so interesting in the world today is that there is what I would call an amalgamation of different aspects of knowledge. Today, you see those in psychology, studying psychology, working with engineers. You see engineers working with those in sociology field. You see engineers working with, in fact, if you have the opportunity of knowing what they are teaching in industrial engineering, people like Engineer Eweden will bear me out. People like Dr. Dauda Folarin too will bear me out, because I know they pass through industrial engineering. You see that this is a field that cuts across so many fields. When you talk about, I think it was Engineer Wale that was saying it the other time, that because Osogbo Wale was initially, is an engineer rather, but engineer was his first discipline. Then that engineering in him, so to say, he was able to use it to an advantage when he was studying law. I'm bold to state it that most of the management theories that you are studying today, those of you in management, they were formulated by engineers. Name them. All of them are engineers. Go and read about their history. You will discover that these people are engineers. The list is endless. I can mention them. So, today, what is called an amalgamation of knowledge, A, B, C, different fields are coming together. And that is what they will say they want to engage in multidisciplinary research. And that is what is in vogue today. And that is why I used to tell my own students that if you think you are an engineering student, you don't need to know anything about psychology, about physiology, about whatever. You are just kidding yourself. An engineer must be all in all. You have a deeper knowledge of engineering, but you have a little bit of other knowledge as well. You must. That's what makes an engineer. So governments had an obligation to invest in and develop the fourth IR technologies, because potential adversaries will invest and use them in less ethical ways. Defense investment for the fourth IR should budget for foreseen technological disruptions by being flexible and building on as well. Let me take the last paragraph. Technology might not always be the only solution. Sincerely yours. When you are talking about security, technology is not the only solution. I'm still repeating it again. Today, because our attitudes are so bad, so terrible indeed, we tend to make use of our technology for negative things. So technology might not be the only solution, and instead, recommended, considering the broader societal perspective. When you are talking about security, you have to look at society broadly, not just from engineering perspective alone. Engineering is just an integral part of it all. And assess the need to reallocate budget to support relevant socio-economic and education programs. Today, as small as I am, let me put it that way. When I was in primary school, I know what our teacher taught us, sincerely us, about morals. Tọ́jú ìwà rẹ ọ̀rẹ́ mi. Who can remind me of that poem? Ìwà lẹwà ọmọ ènìyàn. They taught us to behave very well, morally, to be morally sound. Today, are we teaching that to our children? Are they even being taught that in the school today? Nobody is teaching them again. What we are interested in is just you see 2-3 years old, put them in one nursery and primary school, because we want him or her to be computer literate. So his or her focus, what we are teaching him or her is just how to press keyboard, how to make use of this and that. The moral aspect is no longer there. And that is the problem we are having today. And when I'm talking about morals, you see, when there's you want to talk about morals relies on attitude, as stated by our national chairman. So it is not only about engineering alone. The broader perspective must be taken about society must be taken into consideration. It is essential for technologists to master the art of explaining things from a layman's perspective, to help the public better understand the fourth IR amidst media hype and sensationalization. Today, we have given so much to technology. Technology. I remember, if I remember to put it correctly, but I think I still have the idea. Somebody was saying that of old, you see families, father, mother, and children, they will come together, they will discuss. He said after a point, then they tell by the moonlight. Sometimes they will be outside the compound, looking at, and they will be telling tales, relating to them one tale or the other. He said gradually, life changes. Then technology started coming in. Then we now have analog telephone, the one you used to put down. He said you now see father and mother and the children coming together. Somebody has called. The father will pick it up, the mother, the children too. He said, then later technology. Again, GSM came. And before you know it, OYO on your own. So that even what concerns A or B is immaterial to you, you and your phone. And that is why today when you see us, everybody is busy with his or her phone. In terms of our emotional intelligence, we are not developing our emotional intelligence at all. And that emotional intelligence is so important in the life of a society, the life of any man. That emotional intelligence is what will take us higher. Somebody will say, when you are talking about intelligent quota, IQ, forget about that man who has a very high IQ but lacks emotional intelligence. But somebody with high emotional intelligence, with a relatively average IQ, so to say, is far better than somebody with that IQ, but with what? With low emotional intelligence. So, my respected engineers that are seated here, I want to sincerely submit that today, if we want to use fourth IR technology successfully for the benefits of mankind, like I said at the beginning of the lecture, engineering is the ability to conquer the forces of nature for the what? For the benefits of mankind. If we are to do that, we must blend the knowledge of this technology with what? With the development of our morals. Whatever I might have stated here that is correct, I thank God for it. Whatever that is wrong, that is human being. A human being is not perfect. Whatever you might have heard very well, I thank God as well. Whatever might have been a misunderstanding in what I'm stating, well, I pray that God forgive each and every one of us. Thanks so much. Once again, I want to appreciate the technical committee for giving me as the guest speaker. And for the incoming chairman, best wishes and regards.
Thank you so much. Please just put our hands together. Just keep clapping. Please, just keep clapping. Thank you so much. In fact, he has done justice to that topic. Thank you so much. God bless you. Do we have maybe one or two questions? Any question for him? Okay. One. Any other one? Okay. Let's just take that. My doctor.
Automation, as we call it in chemistry, don't you think it will displace some people from employment? It will displace some people from employment. Because what 10 men could do, a single artificial intelligence will do it within an hour. So that is one. Number two, with this technology, there is no longer secrecy. You find out that anything that is even in the corner of your room, it could be related outside. The government is no longer secret, and there is FO, that is secret file. Don't you think with technology there are so many disadvantages? And the moral aspect is that we copy from other people. What we were saying the other time, ìwà rere lẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ènìyàn bí olówó bí o kò ní wà nǹkan ta ló jẹ́ gbèsè ajẹ́lẹ̀ ọlọ́wọ́ ṣe tàbí tí o sì jẹ́ obìnrin rọ̀gbọ̀dọ̀ tí o bá jìnnà sí wàtẹ́dà ń fẹ́ ta ní jẹ́ gbé o sílẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí aya. Those things are lost. Those things are lost. Don't you think that when we practice technology, we should as well inculcate into our youth the moral aspect of our ọmọlúwàbí? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, any other question? Okay. My chairman. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. I want to sincerely appreciate the guest speaker because he has taken us through different fields with that presentation. My question
is almost a single question with several branches. I have always been worried that with the level of resources we have in Nigeria, is it proper for us to still sit down and say there is insecurity? Why am I saying this? My question is, how easy and how difficult will it be for us to have a facility that will be capable of monitoring each local government, each state, and the nation as a whole, so that if there is security threat somewhere, with the press of 2 or 3 buttons on the laptop or any gadget, you can see the location where that problem is. With this, I want to ask this question that, will it not be necessary for the government to decentralize the issue of security? Because if I'm a state governor, I should be able to monitor my state and avoid security threat. So, how easy will it be and how difficult is it to have a gadget that can monitor a particular coverage at a point in time? And will it be necessary for government to decentralize the issue of security, bearing in mind that our attitude plays a role? So we keep that as a constant while we look at some other parameters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sir, in a jiffy, help us provide answers to these 2 questions.
Well, let me appreciate Dr. J. Wale, our Oga. You see, number 1 question that is unemployment is a major issue. Technology will always bring unemployment, but that does not necessarily mean that we cannot solve the problem of unemployment. Even when the fourth industrial revolution was not on, when they started, there's something they call in manufacturing. There's this thing they call advanced manufacturing, whatever. That period in time, in places like Japan, people were laid off. But at the same time, you know, God has made it in such a way that Yoruba will say, "Tonako badi onomi ila." But because of their attitude, it still boils down to attitudes. What they did was just to diversify. It's as simple as that. Sincerely yours. If today, if we change our attitude, this so-called unemployment and what have you, there are some things one should not be saying in public. But I can tell you that in this country, you discover that what is meant for 100 people, somebody will just sit on it. And that's the problem. And it cuts across all facets. Whether in institutions, universities, polytechnic, colleges of education, whether in the military circle, whether in the everywhere. And that is the problem. Sincerely yours. Don't let me say some things. Because the higher you go, the higher you see, the more you see some dirty things. The more you see some dirty things, sincerely yours. Dirty things. That if you have your conscience, you will know that, no. This is the major reason why we are not growing. And it's as simple as that. He has said it. You and I will blame government for one thing or the other. But it's this same you and I that will ensure that our meter is not running so that we don't pay. So it boils down to attitude. So everything is about attitude. I don't believe that if technology is trying to create unemployment for some people, they will not be able to be gainfully employed in another sector. No. And the issue of entrepreneurship is even there. I remember one old father of ours, about around 1980 or so, he was saying it, that the only trade, the only thing that can never suffer till eternity is agriculture. And that is the bitter truth. And that is the bitter truth. The only thing And when you talk about agriculture, agriculture covers so many things. It's not about just rearing birds or planting cocoa or what have you. Because it's these same agricultural products that will be used in several other industries. So, but today nobody cares about that. So the issue of secrecy, of course, let me even relate that to what Mr. Mashokwa was saying. You see, don't we have niche ComSat? Huh? You know niche ComSat? There are some areas they can cover easily now. Why are we making use of the facilities? I want to ask you, all of us that are seated here as well, around 2001, 2002, 2003, when you are making a phone call, your GSM, don't you see the location of the person you are calling, or where you yourself are standing? Can you see it today? Huh? These are some of the things, these are some of the questions we ask ourselves. If I'm calling some years back, if I pick my phone here, you will see something like country home. Huh? Stating the location, you will see it. Why are we unable to see it today? I'm asking you. Nigerian factor. And what is Nigerian factor? Is it not attitude? Everything is about attitude. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. The guest speaker has done justice to that topic and also to the questions. While in the course of the lecture, some people walked in and some important dignitaries that have not been recognized before are here, and I would like to recognize them. Engineer Balarabe Abdullahi, that's the General Manager of National Control Center Osogbo, is ably represented by Engineer Ishola B.A., who happens to be the Assistant General of NCC. Engineer Ishola, he was the second chairman of NIEEE. Please, let's celebrate him. Let's celebrate him. You are most welcome, sir. God bless you. Okay. Aside that, also we have here the representative of the National ASUP, that is Association of Lecturers in the Polytechnic. That's Comrade Mashokwa A.N. He's the National Auditor of ASUP. Please, let's recognize him. Thank you. In the same vein, we have the Chairman of ASUP from Federal Polytechnic, the Comrade Barrister Aziz. Please, can we just recognize him? In the course of the lecture as well, Mr. and Mrs. A.O. Adisa walked in. Please, can you stand up for recognition? Thank you so much. Mr. Adisa has been a childhood friend to the incoming chairman. Thank you so much. Dr. Ayo Adebeshi, the chaplain of Federal Polytechnic, there is also a member of the Governing Council. You are highly recognized. Dr. and Mrs. K.A. Agbola, friends to the celebrant of today. His friends from the United Kingdom. So you are welcome. Please, can you put your hands together for them? Our father, you can see him. He has been so, he's very much involved. He even asked a question. Dr. Ajewale Orimo Gunje, you are recognized. Please, let's put our hands together for him. One of the very close pals of the guest speaker and also the incoming chairman walked in as well in the course of the lecture. That's the person of builder, Dr. T.O. Yusuf. Please, you are welcome. Please, let's ask here for him. The former boss of Federal Polytechnic, Mr. Baba Bumi, can we just recognize his presence? Thank you so much. Now, Dr. Olawonyi, all the way from University of Ilorin, is also here. He's one of the sons of the incoming chairman. Let's celebrate him. Dr. Olawonyi, you are welcome. Also, Alhaji Dr. Adebisi, one of the close pals of the incoming chairman. Let's recognize his presence as well. Dr. Akintude is also here. Can we just recognize him? Dr. Ojo walked in as well. Let's recognize his presence. Also, Mr. Kawo Nishe, he has been supportive of the incoming chairman for a number of years, and he still remains a very close friend. In the same vein, Engineer G.C. Ewerem, can we just recognize his presence as well? Engineer Dr. Mujedu, let's recognize him, and Engineer Dr. Badruddin. Let's put our hands together for them. I appreciate you all for gracing this occasion, and we believe by the grace of God, Engineer Folarin to perform beyond our expectation as he comes in. Next is citation of the incoming NIEEE chapter chairman. It's time to read that citation, and I want a professional to do it. Mr. Joe, it's your turn to take the citation. The chairman, you will have to rise and remain standing, sir. I don't have the authority. Then when the citation must have been read, my boss, the national chairman and the chairman of today's occasion, Engineer Akan Michael, MNSC, FNIEEE, I will be handing over the mic to you to do the main reason, to perform the main reason why we are here. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Mr. Chairman, sir, with your permission, I want to present to this gathering the citation of Engineer Dr. Dauda Folarin, MNSC, FNIEEE, FIPMD. The fourth chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Osogbo chapter. Engineer Alhaj Dr. Dauda Folarin was born on the 14th day of March in 1965 in the ancient town of Ibadan, Oyo State. He hails from Onara local government area of the state. He started his Western education at IDC Primary School, Ojaigbo, Ibadan, for his first school leaving certificate between 1973 and 1979. Thereafter, he attended Lagelu Grammar School, Agugu, Ibadan, between 1979 and 1984 for a secondary education, and later moved on to the Grammar School, Malete, Ibadan, for his HSC, Higher School Certificate, between 1985 and 1986. He started his engineering education at the prestigious University of Ilorin between 1986 and 1981, when he obtained his first degree, Bachelor of Engineering, Electrical Engineering. He later moved on to obtain his MSc in Industrial and Production Engineering from the Premier University of Ibadan in 1998. Still working hard to satisfy his quest for Western education, he moved on again to the University of Ilorin, where he obtained his master's degree, Masters in Engineering, Electrical Engineering, in year 2011. He wrapped up his engineering education by sojourning outside this country to Botswana, Republic of Botswana, where he bagged his Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in Electrical Power Engineering from the University of Botswana in year 2019. Dr. Engineer Folarin has a rich work experience in the industry, academic, as well as a consultant. He has worked in various organizations, including the following: the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, Ile-Akede, Ibadan. Nigerian Bottling Company, Coca-Cola Plant, Ibadan. Power Engineering Construction Company, Enugu. Shylon Power Construction, Ibadan. Dafam Engineering Technology and Investment, also located in the city of Ibadan. He has also proved himself as a distinguished academic and an erudite scholar in the employment of the Federal Polytechnic, Ede, Nigeria. He joined the Polytechnic in the year 1998 as Lecturer 3 and moved up through hard work to the position of Chief Lecturer as early as year 2013. Dr. Engineer Folarin has over 30 publications. In his kitty, he has presented over 50 conference papers. He has also attended so many workshops and trainings and has published 4 standard textbooks in electrical engineering education for students that are coming behind to also benefit from his knowledge. He is a registered engineer, a member of many professional bodies, including Nigerian Society of Engineers, and indeed a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. He is also a fellow of the Institute of Policy Management Development, IPMD. Engineer Folarin has handled a variety of duties. He was a dean, HOD, chairman, and member of several committees, coordinator and external moderator for a number of institutions, and has excelled in each assignment. He is presently the chairman of the Research and Development Innovation Committee, chairman of the Departmental Accreditation Committee, chairman of the Departmental Budget Committee, and chairman of the Departmental Renewable Energy Committee, among other enviable positions. As at now, after he has contributed immensely to the making of the good name and standard for the Federal Polytechnic, Ede, he is currently being utilized by a sister young institution, the Polytechnic Iresi, as he is currently serving his second term as the Dean of Engineering, Management, and Science. He has distinguished himself in community service, serving as the chairman of the Sura Committee for the selection of new executive for Amana Cooperative and Investment Society in Ibadan. In 2013, Chairman Darul Tawheed Community Development, Alhaji Uthman Titi Lope Street, Ede, since year 2014, and Chairman Procurement Committee on Community Service Development Program, CSDP, in year 2012. Above all, his engineering profession, his commitment to the development of the society, his scholarly posture has never taken him away from the services of the Almighty Allah. Dr. Engineer Folarin is a devoted Muslim, and Hajj for that matter. Somebody that has traveled down to Kaaba, the house of the Almighty Allah, to observe his pilgrimage there. He is a complete family man, a dutiful husband, and a loving father. He is happily married and is blessed with wonderful children. Mr. Chairman, sir, ladies and gentlemen, let us all rise as I presented to this gathering Engineer Alhaji Dr. Dawood Adekunle Folarin for his investiture as the 4th chapter chairman of the enviable professional body, the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Osogbo chapter, Osun State. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Can be seated. That citation was very impressive, and I have to admit, he's a man of diligence, and he has worked hard to ascend this office. As protocol and tradition demands, the outgoing chapter chairman, Engineer Salami, is the one to hand over power to. And so, sir, can you get closer so that you can administer the oath of office? Just
my national chairman, Engineer Akpan Emmanuel, MNSC, FNIEEE, on your permission and directives, the new chairman-elect wants to be officially inaugurated by this occasion. That is what we are here for today. Sir, you put your name as I read through. May I go out of office as a I put your name. Before everyone present at this ceremony, this moment, let me just read through. I, Engineer
Dr. Dauda Folarin.
Before everyone present at this ceremony.
Before everyone present at this ceremony.
Pledge to uphold and defend the Constitution of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical Electronics Engineers.
Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers.
To conduct my engineering practice with discipline.
To conduct my engineering practice with discipline.
Sincerity.
And fairness.
And to show my interest in the affairs and welfare of my fellow engineers and members.
And to show my interest
in the affairs. And welfare of my fellow engineers.
And members.
As the chairman of NIEEE Osogbo chapter.
NIEEE Osogbo chapter.
So help me God. Thank you. By this, I want to MC. You see, I should not give it out.
You must.
No, my national chairman
the national chairman
has even directed me to do. I'm the one to do. My national chairman may not find this easy to offload it from me. So let me do it. So, Engineer Dawood, by this occasion, I'm handing over the mantle. Okay, Ajia. And the Ajia has to join so that we have the support that is needed for the office. Oh my God. These are the people who have held the office before. Engineer Ishola handed over to me, and Engineer Bair handed over to Ishola. We have done well. That's why you are joining me. You don't want only me to be in place. So, now, the engineer is now complete. We thank God now. With Ajia by his side, and we are very sure the job will be well done. I'm happy to do this to you. May God help you.
Can we just keep clapping? Can we just keep clapping? Engineer Dr. D.A. Folarin has been empowered as the fourth chairman of the NIEEE Osun chapter. Please, let's put hands together. Osogbo chapter. Let's just put hands together for him. This is wonderful. There is no success without a successor. And now that we have this, you can see the way it's going from the pioneer chairman to the second chairman, the third chairman, and now the fourth chairman. Let's put hands together for him. This is wonderful. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, sir. God will help you through. It's going to be a successful tenure by the special grace of God. And when you will be handing over, we will all be here to still celebrate you. Let's put hands together. We really appreciate you. Without wasting time, the chairman, the substantive chairman, this one is not an inconclusive issue. It has been concluded. He's the substantive chairman. Yes, you can easily snap with him 1, 2, 3 minutes. Okay. After this, I think the guest speaker and those on the high table will snap with him. Please, let's go fast. Let's go fast because of time. Please, let's go fast. Yeah, we know more. Let's be fast, let's be fast. Thank you. Thank you. Members of the high table, it has been snapped, please. I'm on phone to man please. Members of the high table, the national chairman is there. The next speaker, please. Yes. The new executives, you'll be sworn in now by the chairman. He has to perform his first assignment. Thank you. Thank you. Now let's have all the other chairmen, the first, second, third chairman coming out. Let's have the other chairman. Please come out. Okay, they've taken already. Thank you. So I'll be handing over to the chairman now to perform his first assignment, which is swearing in of the new executive, the cabinet that will be working with him. So if you are one of those, please come out. Engineer Yisawa Anyila, Engineer Ojoluwa Seun Adewale, Engineer Badaola Lekan, Engineer Francis, Engineer Oyewale Shakiru, Engineer Mrs. Ajibola, Engineer Fabumi Oladipo, Engineer Ismail, Engineer Ayedu Idowu, Engineer Akimboyewa, and Engineer Mrs. Aderikola. Please, let's come out so that the chairman can perform his very first assignment. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you. Order ESCO, Ayedun, come on board. Ayedun, all the ESCOs. Engineer Yedun.
Pin wa mbe. Ẹ̀yin bá fi kó sáà ti dúró tó bá wù ọ́ sọ́nù tó.
Kindly say after me. I
Engineer Isa Adebowale
of Osogbo chapter,
of Osogbo chapter,
having been appointed
to
the position of
deputy chairman,
hereby solemnly swear that I will be faithfully discharge to the best of my ability the duties of my present position and of all others that I may hereafter hold under under the NIEEE that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the laws, that I will obey the laws, legal orders and decrees promulgated by the duly constituted authorities of NIEEE. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Congrats, Mr. Chairman, sir. Straight to your inaugural speech, sir. Thank you. Inaugural speech of the chairman. Inaugural speech. Thank you.
Let us be attentive, please. It's very short and concise. That is on page 15. Inaugural address delivered by Engineer Dr. Dauda Folarin, MNSC, FNIEEE, FIPMD, at his investiture as the 4th chapter chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Osogbo chapter, on today, March 26, 2022. I observe all protocols and salutation, I recognize the national chairman of NIEEE in person of Engineer Akam Michael, fellow NIEEE MNSE. Also, I recognize His Excellency Governor Isiaka Boyega. Oyetola. I recognize the immediate past chairman of the NIEEE in person of Engineer J.A. Salami, and all immediate past chairmen. Also, I recognize the chairman, Nigeria Society of Engineers, Osogbo branch, in person of Engineer Wale Alonge. Also, I recognize the chairman, Southwest NIEEE Chairman Forum. The chairman of that very particular forum is Engineer Femi Ayekomilogban. Also, I recognize my unique rector, Prince Dr. John Taiwo Adekolawole, ably represented by the Deputy Rector Academics, Engineer Dr. Joseph Petrini. You are welcome. Also, I recognized our guest speaker, though he's my close friend. We have been together, as rightly said, over 35 years. We went to the same university. We lived together, like they used to call me his wife, because I used to cook for us to take, and we always be together. Also, we went to the same Premier University at the same time, and we went back to University of Ilorin again together. So I recognize him. Thank you for your coming. Also, I have a number of people that I need to recognize. My childhood friends, they are here plenty. They are here plenty. Somebody came all the way from United States of America. When he heard, he just fixed his coming to this period of time. Actually, he ought to have come around for Ramadan next week, but he decided to be here so that he will grace this August occasion in the month of March. I am indeed very grateful. My Dr. Agbola Adejare Kasim and his wife, you are welcome. Also, there are my mentor, which I will not, forget, is Dr. Kola Ajewole. He used to advise us that we need to tighten our belts and strive hard, so as somebody from outside will not come around and lead us, so that he encourage us to put in our best. And you can see the guest lecturer has also mentioned him. So he's a good mentor. He's a father. He has retired. May God Almighty continue to be with you, your family, And also, I want to recognize my childhood friend as well from primary school. Is here. He's a publisher and a writer. Amoju Publication, in person of Aminu Jubri Omotayo. You are welcome. Also, I want to recognize the academic board of our institution, Federal Polytechnic Ede. I really appreciate you. You are welcome. Likewise, I want to recognize my academic staff union of Polytechnic. They are powerfully represented here. Also, the Chief Lecturer Forum, I really appreciate you. That is equivalent of the professorial board in the university. They are powerfully here in multiple. So those people that could not make it, they have sent their apology. Also, I want to recognize all the principal officers of the Federal Polytechnic Ede. They have done marvelously. None of the principal officer exempted from goodwill message. I'm indeed very grateful. Also, I want to recognize all the staff of my own and unique department, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, especially my HOD. They have done wonderfully well. Also, the Department of Civil Engineering. So, Civil Engineering, their HOD is my boy, and is closely behind me. They have done marvelously well. I recognize you as well. Also, Department of Computer Engineering, Federal Polytechnic Ede, they have done wonderfully well. Their head of department is my sister, and her husband happened to be my good friend at Ladoke Akintola University. I recognize you and I appreciate you. Also, I want to recognize the MC. Please, just give me time, because there are so many people and I have to recognize them. It's very important. Please, before I go to my address. Also, I want to recognize all the other departments. So, they are solidly behind me. Then, there is a particular childhood friend which they mentioned earlier, in person of Mr. Augustine Olulere Adisa, and is better half. You are welcome. Also, there is a unique person who happened to be the director of the ACHU at Federal Polytechnic Ede, in person of engineer, doctor in waiting, by the special grace of God, Almighty Allah, that very particular doctorate of philosophy will soon come. You are welcome. Thank you. Also, I want to recognize the director of engineering. She has been marvelous to us. We had series of live program at Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. She is brain behind it. Okay. I want to recognize all my club. I belong to a special club, name club. they are powerfully represented here, they are here. And I appreciate you all. Also, in my citation, they made mention of this club and they made mention of one particular Islamic organization, Amana Cooperative Investment Corporation. You are welcome, you are recognized. I want to wrap it with my family. My wife, I'm married to two wives. And the first wife is not here because our first daughter gave birth to a newborn baby boy. So that is the reason, because most of my old friends will be thinking that where is Alaja Mansurat Iyabo Folarin is my first wife. My second wife happened to be here and I really appreciate her. We have been together for a while and we really appreciate you all. Thank you. Glory, honor and adoration be unto Almighty Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. He only is the giver of life and sustainer of some. Same. May the peace and blessing of Allah Ta'ala be upon the noble prophet Muhammad, his household, his companion, and the generality of the Muslim Ummah who follow his path. It gives me great pleasure to address you today as the fourth chairman of this noble chapter of our professional body, the NIEEE. Today is a day of celebration for all of us as at this chapter of the Institute to honor our history and tradition while glimpsing at the future with great confidence and unflinching hope. It is a day of reflection about the great leaders who have led this chapter of the Institute with zeal, love, and dedication. Upholding those traditions that have brought us to this point, today we begin a new chapter, and I have the singular privilege of becoming part of our history, while forging a path to our future. I acknowledge and accept with deep gratitude this position of responsibility as a call to greater service to the Institute and humanity as a whole. You have entrusted me with this leadership role, and I embrace it with eagerness, helping to contribute my quota and give a full measure of service to be committed to the greater good of all members and the general public. No one arrives at a moment like this without the help and support of a great many people. Please indulge me while I take some time to acknowledge and thank them. To our national chairman, Engineer Michael Akan, for your encouragement and support. To the Investiture Planning Committee, led by the Deputy Chairman, Engineer Yisau Odebowale, for your month of work in making this a memorable event for me and for the Institute. To all members of the new executive, for the commitment and dedication you have all shown. To all our donors and sponsors, for believing in us and for providing the resources, time, talents, and treasures that are crucial to the progress of this chapter of the Institute. To our guest speaker, Director, Federal Polytechnic Ayede, Oyo State, Engineer Dr. Taufik Abdulhamid, for taking time out of your tight schedule to speak to us today. To all our former chapter chairmen, for your stewardship of the Institute, and to all members of this chapter for your support and trust. Please accept my heartfelt and deepest gratitude to all of you. I strongly believe in this vision of this our noble institute, that is to be a leading and most credible professional institute of first choice. And also our mission, which is to promote professional competency and excellence among members through innovative contribution and development of sustainable solutions to challenging engineering problems by deploying efficient technologies and systems for the benefit of mankind. These are going to be my guiding principle. Why I occupy this office I entered today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful. From the fourth chairman of the NIEEE Osogbo branch. Now we'll be going to the award section. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ìyanu kò wá ráyè láti pàtẹ́wọ́ mọ́. Can we put our hands together for the chairman? Thank you so much. Dr. Adebisi, I can realize how you are trying your best. But as an officer of Servicom, is it right not to clap when the chairman has just given such a wonderful speech? Thank you so much. Okay. I'm trying my best to ensure that we are so fast so that we don't keep anybody unnecessarily waiting. I'll be starting with the National Control Center GM, that's Engineer Balarabe Abdullahi, who is ably represented by Engineer B.A. Ishola, who also happens to be the second chairman of this professional body. So I will request, thank you so much. The chairman, please, you help us dress the awardee. Chairman, sir. The engineering family. Okay, that's good. Oh, wonderful. Yes. Engineer Wale Alonge, please, I really need you to help me do this. Thank you so much, sir. You are the one who is qualified to perform this assignment. You will be presenting this, sir, to Engineer Balarabe Abdullahi.
All right. Adibi, I know I would have influenced this to be the last item so that I can have more of you, sir. Well, award of excellence to Engineer Balarabe Abdullahi, the General Manager, National Control Center, in recognition of service to humanity in the field of engineering, hereby presented today to you on behalf of Engineer Balarabe Abdullahi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, we'll be presenting to the representative of, we'll be presenting to Engineer Professor Mohammed Sani Aruno. That's the Executive Vice Chairman of NASENI, who is represented by Engineer Absalam Nasir. Please, Engineer Absalam Nasir, kindly move out. Come out, please. You are here. Thank you. Thank you. Please, Chairman. I request the Vice Chairman. Okay, thank you.
It is my pleasure presenting this Award of Excellence to the recipient.
Thank you. The next awardee is our Brigadier General K.F. Suleiman. That's the Commander ECCNAE at the Osun State. And the presentation will be done by the mentor of mentors, the guest speaker, Rector of Federal Polytechnic Ayede, will be doing that presentation to Brigadier General K.F. Suleiman. Yes, I can see the NSC chairman also stepping out. That's wonderful. Please, thank you, sir.
Well, on behalf of our chairman and members of NIEEE Osogbo, in recognition of your service to humanity and the territorial defense of this noble country, Nigeria, we are presenting this to you as a mark of recognition. It is our prayer that God in His infinite mercy will continue to strengthen you all the more. Congratulations, sir.
Next is Professor Odunayo Clement Adeboye, the Vice Chancellor of Osun State University, ably represented by Mr. Adesoji Ademola. Mr. Adesoji Ademola, can you please step out? Thank you. Mr. Adesoji Ademola. The presentation will be done by the HOD of Electrical Electronics Department. Please come out. Engineer Dr. Tijani. Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, in recognition of the social service and educational development, on behalf of the chairman, the executives, and the members of the NIEEE Osogbo chapter, I hereby present this award of excellence to you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Next is Prince Dr. John Taiwo Adekolawole, the rector of Federal Polytechnic Ede, ably represented by Engineer Dr. Peteri. The presentation will be done by the chairman of NIEEE Osogbo chapter. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the Nigerian Institute of Electronics Engineering, Osogbo chapter, the award of excellence is hereby presented to Prince Dr. John Taiwo Adekolawole, rector of Federal Polytechnic Ede, in recognition of service towards infrastructural and social development. Congratulations, sir.
Now we want to quickly present to the speaker, the guest speaker of today. We'll be making presentation to the guest speaker of today. That's the rector of Federal Polytechnic, Ayede, and the chairman of NIEEE Osogbo chapter will still assist me in performing this special assignment. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, the director. I was coming out to celebrate my mentor. I don't know you would tell me to come and do this big task. Anyway, it is good to be good. Congratulations, sir. But permit me, because I have no ability to do anything on what you have done. But with your permission, I want to run a comment as regards the question that came out after the lecture. It is true that artificial intelligence and all things that have been mentioned today as regards the fourth generation, people are scared of what the future will be. But let me tell you this in this hall this afternoon. This year, March 4th usually is a World Engineering Day, as agreed by UNESCO. We had the third of its edition this year. And the theme happened to be Build Back Wiser, Engineering the Future. It is true it will take some job, but it's going to create more job. I'm answering this question not technically. I'm answering as a layman, for people to understand. It's going to create more job because engineering is the future. We are here today, it is engineering. All we are doing today is engineering. Speaking to you and you are hearing me loudly today is engineering. Your outfit, your cap, your wristwatch, your glasses, everything is engineering. So all I will tell you is, please tell your children, tell your grandchildren to key into engineering because more job opportunity is coming up as this is taking trend. So there will be maintenance, there will be repair, there will be production. Everything is going to be engineering. So as it's going to take some job, it's going to create more job. Sir, well done for the job done today. I said it earlier, and I did not expect you to perform less. You have done wonderfully well. So on behalf of this chapter, the Nigeria Institute of Electronics Engineering, Osogbo chapter, this award of recognition is hereby presented to you. Engineer Dr. T.A. Abdulhamid, Rector, Federal Polytechnic, Ayede in Oyo State. As the guest lecturer and for your outstanding contribution to the investiture of the 4th chairman, Engineer Dr. Dauda Folarin, the chairman, NIEEE Osogbo chapter. Today, Saturday, the 26th March 2022. I say congratulations and well done, sir.
During the presentation, the Deputy Rector Administration of Federal Polytechnic Ede stepped in. Please join me to welcome Alhaji AIT Adelabu. Can we just put our hands together for him as he moves down to the high table? Thank you so much. Alhaji, we've been waiting for you for long. Please step to the high table. Thank you so much and God bless you. Next is Engineer Ademola Isaac Agoro. Engineer Ademola Isaac is the MDC of Protogic Global Services. We want to know if he has sent anybody. Engineer Isaac Agoro. Thank you so much. And we also have Senator Ayuade Ademola Adesheun. The senator is in Abuja for a political meeting, but we wouldn't know if anyone has been sent to represent them. Thank you. In the absence of that, I move straight to donations. 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 Now, in support of this administration, this set of executives that have been inaugurated today, if you have anything we want to so for the students that made presentation, we have some prizes for them. I want Engineer Salami. Where's Engineer Salami? The immediate past chairman to make the presentation. I will start with the consolation prize that goes to Kamarudin Abiodun. Kamarudin Abiodun.
They are now for.
Wonderfully, in the course of the presentation of awards, another dignitary walked in. Can't you snap later? A special dignitary walked in. Is one of my mentors as well, because I can recollect. Sir? No, I don't have the right to call you my student. It's not possible. He's one of my mentors and one of my promoters, because I remember he once gave me a contract to train OSBC staff. Yes, when he was still director of admin, the DG of OSBC. Please, can we celebrate him? He just walked in now. Let's celebrate him. You can see that Engineer Dauda Folarin has been able to pull men of timber and caliber, and including Iroko and mahogany. He has pulled them, and we are having a nice time here. So I will go straight to giving awards to the students that made presentation. Consolation prize goes to Kamarudin Fatiu Abiodun. You are the one. Kamarudin Fatiu Abiodun. Please, can I have the prize for Kamarudin? The consolation prize. Consolation prize. Alaji IT, you should be on the high table now. The consolation prize. Thank you. Thank you. Then the third prize goes to Odeyemi Temilola Stephen. Odeyemi Stephen. Please, let's put hands together for them. Those boys, they performed very well. Odeyemi did very well. Thank you so much. The second prize goes to Ms. Bernard Anita Onyechi. Ms. Bernard Anita Onyechi. The lady physiotherapist, the engineering physiotherapist. Yes. Photographer, one of those Yanu. MC Oshishe Yanu. And the first position, I want my friend to announce the first position.
The first and the best out of the three is Peter Emmanuel. Peter, let's please give him a round of applause. Yes, that's the best.
Donations for, if you truly want Engineer Dauda Folarin to perform beyond the average level, it needs to be supported. There is nothing we can do without money, without funds, without support. The support is not necessarily in terms of physical cash. It can be in terms of provisions of services or whatsoever to enable him achieve the vision he has set. Some of us, of course, we know that nowadays, I was going to tell the guest speaker that do we notice that armed robbery has reduced in Nigeria? You know one of the reasons? Nobody keeps money at home again. So there is nothing armed robber is coming to steal in your house except they want you to transfer. So that's why you realize that technically nobody writes to you that I'm coming home, I'm coming to steal money. Gone are the days and say go and bring the money. Nobody is keeping any money at home. And it's also helping us in, at least in growing in that respect. So if you have anything to make donations, I know that a lot of us as civil servants and a lot of us as friends of the newly installed chairman and a good number of us as engineers, we want to give something. We can give it by writing down the amount so that we can keep record. I want to give a token sum of 100,000. You can write it, 50,000, whatsoever. Write it down and, well, preferably put your name under so for reminder and for proper contact. I want the general secretary. Where's the general secretary? If general secretary is not here, general secretary, engineer Ojo Oluwaseun, please, it's good you come round so that we can collect the promises of people in terms of donation. You are the general secretary. This is part of what is needed to ensure that this boat runs successfully. The treasurer, engineer Fabumi Oladipo, please, where are you? And engineer Ismail Abdugani, engineer Ismail. You can't sit down, it's your time. It's your time. Why don't you? Kì í ṣe pé a fẹ́ gbàjọ bíi ti Rotaract. Àwọn tí mo rí yẹn, ṣẹ́rí ẹ máa wo fìlà wọn kó tó di pé ẹ máa lọ bá wọn. Fìlà tó bá ti dúró straight, ó ní iye tó máa ń filẹ̀. Ẹ wo àwọn fìlà yẹn. Ẹni tó bá ti nírùngbọ̀n, ó ní iye tó máa filẹ̀. Òjò owó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. So ẹ lọ bá wọn. Ẹni tí ò bá ní cash, á kọ kind pé okay, Òjò ní owó lọ́wọ́, mo mọ iye salary ẹ̀. Ẹ lọ bá wọn, mo ń wo gbogbo one by one. But àwọn ọ̀gá wa, wọ́n wà bẹ́ẹ̀. That is Dr. Adebeshi. He's a member of the Governing Council, Federal Polytechnic. Ẹ try láti dé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn. Àwọn ní dollars wà to my right. Ẹ try láti dé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn. Are you getting what I'm talking of? So please try and get our people, the executives, do the needful. Ẹ má lọ bá àwọn máṣọ̀pá union comrade yìí fún yàn lówó. Explanation the comrade mama give. You know what is happening in Nigeria. Me, ìmọ̀ ètò kan bóyá on the president. Owó la need. Come to the high table. AIT is always a giver from the word go. Even when he had nothing as in the polytechnic, he has been giving. Talk less of now that is the deputy rector administration. Thank you so much. Now, it's not compulsory you bring cash to me. There should be promises. 10,000, 20,000. Pẹ̀lú orúkọ, irú financial secretary will invest, you know. There should be papers. I want the sheets of paper with names. Oh yeah. Nobody, Mr. Kawonishe is calling you that you should come and pick up what. Meet with Mr. Kawonishe. He's an entrepreneur and a chief lecturer. Thank you so much. So it's not cash. I don't need cash. Just write whatever you want to do and your name. Thank you so much. Yes, we appreciate everyone who has given. Now, goodwill messages. Goodwill messages. I'm going to take 2 or 3. The first one from Alaji AIT Adelabu. Goodwill messages. Goodwill messages. Goodwill messages. Thank you. Okay. Okay. I like the AIT. Please, goodwill message. I like the Emma Soro. Emma came in Nigba. Emma.
I use this opportunity to thank all the members of NIEEE on this occasion, and on behalf of myself and my family, I want to sincerely congratulate Engineer Dr. Dauda Folarin on his investiture as the first chairman of NIEEE Osogbo branch. By the grace of God, your tenure at the institute will be significant, and then will be full of development. Congratulations, and congratulations to all the members of the association. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. That's wonderful. Now, we are... So, vote of thanks. Please let us... We are going to be rounding up in another 2-3 minutes. I want us to do that together. Vote of thanks to be taken by the vice chairman. Vote of thanks by the vice chairman. Engineer Odepo Wale, deputy chairman. I want deputy.
Well, all the honor and adoration belong to Almighty God. Well, it's humanly impossible for me to thank everybody individually who has contributed in one way or the other towards the success of this program. Than to say I thank you all. However,
let me break protocol. Engineer Wale will help us to give these certificates to the outgoing executive. Thank you, sir.
I want to appreciate everyone for your support so far. It is said, no success until you have a successor. And the outgoing executive is hereby appreciated. So I will present to the chairman, who now becomes the immediate past chairman.
Okay, yes, that's what I said.
Now, the deputy chairman, Engineer Dauda Folarin, please come and complete what you commenced. Thank you.
Thank Almighty God. And our next time go to the executive governor of this state and this for providing an enabling environment for us to be able to organize this in state. We thank him very much. However, I would like to thank the chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical Engineers at the national level, who has been here since yesterday just because of this occasion, and his team. I thank the rector of Federal Polytechnic and his team, the PC Junior also and his team, the general manager of LDC and his team, all members of the chairman of Nigerian Osogbo branch, all members of the executive and members of Nigerian who are presently here today, the Nigerian Institute of Electrical Engineers, students and staff of Federal Polytechnic. I think I cannot mention all the names. I just have to say thank you very much, and I wish you safe journey back to your different destinations. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So now, let's stand up for the Osun anthem. DJ, please let's rise up. We are closing. Osun anthem, after that the national anthem. Then we have the closing prayer by taking the second stanza of the national anthem. DJ, please, Osun anthem. Thank you. It's as well on page 2. national anthem. So we take the second stanza as the closing prayer. 1 to go. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Great lofty heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Long live NIEEE. Long